Hello, what's up this afternoon, everyone? Or morning? I guess it's morning, I don't know, it depends on where you are, but either way, welcome. Killer Pin Care, welcome you to the Fishbowl. Big scoop cheer for you, thank you. Good to see ya. What is up, Tezzeret and Labrador, and another gaze, and Necro Nexus, and Zelda Zackbot, of course, BG Stilts, welcome, good to see you, it's been a minute. Stone Rain, good to see you, hope all is well with you. Arclight, hello. So I know, it's an early stream today, but there's a reason it's an early stream. So, I was thinking, we don't really have any spoilers. We've gotten through everything. It's going to be the holidays. It's going to be quiet. We're just going to have a normal December, and then it'll pick up again in January. But no. The spoiler train, it never ends. Yesterday, Wizards announced, hey, by the way, we're spoiling all of Dominaria Remastered in the next, 2 days. So today, at 1 Eastern, a little over an hour from now, an hour and 15 minutes, they are kicking off Dominaria Remastered spoilers. So I figured we'll do an early stream, we'll play some Magic, we'll talk about the new anthology on Arena, which is looking absurdly good for Explorer, and then we can watch the spoiler stream together, and then I'll have to run off and do a spoiler tier list video for the YouTube. So that's the plan. That's why we're streaming early today. As far as our deck, I don't think we'll make it through a whole league before the spoiler stream, but I really want to try this Taxes deck again. We tried it a little bit 2 streams ago. We played one match with it. It was our backup deck. We played one match with it. Didn't really get to check it out, but I'm still intrigued by Drannith Magistrate and Containment Priest and Soul Partition. These weird taxing effects all mismatched together in the Pioneer format. So that's the plan for today. Some Pioneer taxing, some Explore Anthology discussion, and then we'll watch the WotC stream together. Also, speaking of WotC streams, Wizards announced that on Thursday, they're doing a fireside chat. Actually, Hasbro's doing it. Hasbro's CEO is doing a fireside chat, they called it, about Magic, which, oh my goodness, I cannot wait to watch that. I don't know if they'll have chat activated. McGarry for the 58th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Did you see Modern Mill with the transformational sideboard? I don't think so. Ooh, so it starts off as non-mill kind of, or beatdown mill with Jace's Phantasm. Oh, Madcap Big... okay. I was thinking you were bringing in the Tasha's Hideous Laughters. Bring in Madcap Platinum Empyrean. That is spicy. I really like that idea. That's a cool take on mill. Maybe we got to play some more mill at some point. Anyway, everyone, that is the plan for today. Jupipi, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Second month in a row, big scoops here for you. Question for you about the Fishmail podcast episode you mentioned on Twitter. I don't have a Twitter account, but because it is telling me I'm below 13 while I'm being 15, is there any way to send a Fishmail without having a Twitter account? There is. I also put a post on the YouTube in the community tab, so you can respond on there if you'd like to, or just send me an email. saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. You can send it in there. I'll get it on the list. We haven't recorded that one yet. I think it'll be next week or the week after. We're going to record it as a end of year holiday thing. So plenty of time to get in your questions if you haven't already. 7 year. Good to see you. So let's do our reminders really quick. And let's get into some Magic so we can actually play some games before the spoiler stream. So replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube. Tons of stuff going up on there. What do you think of the Spectral Chaos video? Do you like videos like that? Assuming that you watch it. The one about the most impactful set that doesn't actually exist. I'm curious. That was a little bit different. I love Magic history. To me, I just love that stuff. I find it super interesting. I like history in general. So that carries over to Magic. But I think stuff like that for me is super interesting. So I'm curious if that's stuff that I should do more of. Is that stuff that y'all enjoy watching, or am I just doing it for myself because I like history? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a cool story. Anyway, our sponsor today, Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Maybe you need Brothers War, soon to be Dominaria Remastered. Maybe you need Dragon Tempest or a Slug token for some reason. You can get them all over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Even get a free goldfish ticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes, and they will hook you up. Yeah, lots of comments about the hair. We might have to do a poll on that. Should I wear my hair down more often? Because apparently it's a good way to get YouTube comments. comment. So many people commented on that. Yeah, we'll have to do some more history stuff because I find it pretty interesting. Otherwise, merch page, tokens, t-shirts, playmat, good way to get support the stream and the channel, the site. Donations always appreciated, never required. $2 more gets your message read on stream. Why am I not hearing a splash when people sub? I don't know, Streamlab stuff. Anyway, so what are we playing Magic-wise today? We're going to play some more of this Death and Taxes deck for Pioneer. We talked about it before when we played one match with it as a backup deck, so I'm not going to go super in-depth. The reason I'm intrigued by this deck is some of the weird synergies, though. We got Drannith Magistrate, so players can't cast spells, opponents can't cast spells from anywhere but their hand, which means we can like Drannith Magistrate and then Soul Partition, the big new Brothers War addition to the deck, to bounce something, but it's actually exiled, and normally you can recast it, but you can't recast it, or we can Elite Spellbinder to get rid of a spell forever. The other big synergy piece, Containment Priest. If a non-token would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, you exile it instead. That lets us blink things with Eldrazi Displacer and get rid of them forever. So there's some really neat little synergies with the deck. So that's what we're going to mess around with in Pioneer. There's some cool synergies. Is the deck good? I don't really know, but we're gonna find out. I think it would be more cool if you didn't sound like a Scooby-Doo character, no offense. You'll get used to it, I promise. It's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste. Like anchovies, apparently. Apparently, if you eat enough anchovies, you start to like them. So, Rakdos and Explore, yes. Okay, so, Explore Anthology, number 2. It is now, I believe, fully out. And I gotta say, there was some grumbling and rumbling about this, where people were like, oh, it doesn't look very good. I don't think this does enough. Jesus Zilla 2000 for the 9th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. So Explore Anthology number 2, I gotta say, people were kind of grumbling about it. I think it actually looks really, really solid. So let's start off with the bad news. Well, actually, there isn't really much bad news. I guess the bad news is there's Eldrazi, which aren't super playable in Pioneer. Eerie Interlude is more of like a janky against the odds piece, although it has some synergy, could be good in like Historic Brawl. But Brave the Elements, legit playable mono white humans, one of the better decks in the Pioneer format. Ethereal Armor sees play in Boggle style decks in Pioneer. Soldier of the Pantheon doesn't see as much play anymore. This was a 4 of in the human deck, but it's kind of been replaced by Recruiter of the Guard. No, not Recruiter, the Recruitment Officer, the new one drop from Brothers War that lets you dig through your deck to find cheap creatures. So it doesn't show up much anymore, but this was a 4 of like a month ago in the human deck. Clever Impersonator, kind of jank. Dispel, kind of jank. Zulaport Cutthroat, big for sacrifice style decks. Rally the Ancestor style decks. Aristocrat style decks. Eidolon, staple and burn decks. Fiery Impulse, staple removal spell for Phoenix style decks. Rending Volley, staple sideboard card. To deal with planeswalkers, to deal with creatures. Courser Crew Fix, it's a fun card. It doesn't see play currently, but it's close enough. Satyr Wayfinder, really nice for Greasefang style decks. One of my favorite cards. Nylea's Presence, shows up in the Enigmatic Incarnation deck. Shaman of the Pack, Elf staple, one of the most important missing elves. Reflector Mage for multicolored humans. Silver Hive Lord, I guess, is for Historic Brawl. I don't really know why they put that one in there. A bunch of Eldrazi, Mutavault, one of the most played lands of the format, and Rakdos just spoiled today. This was the card. This was the number 1 card. If you go back and look at my list of cards that I most wanted for Explorer to make it like Pioneer, Rakdos was number 1 on our list. I think Mutavault was number 3. Reflector Mage was also in the top 10. Shaman of the Pact actually really does matter. So I feel like Wizards actually, Eidolon was also, now we got Swiftspear and Eidolon. We basically have the full burn deck from Pioneer and Explorer. So I know people were a little bit meh on this, but I think this is actually just like a really solid anthology. I think it's unreasonable for us to expect an anthology to just be, okay, like, here's the 10 or 20 most played cards from Pioneer that aren't on Arena yet. Let's put all 20 of them on there. Oh, is Mana Confluence too? No. Did I miss that? Is that the last one? I mean, Mana Confluence is also pretty important to like 5-color decks because we don't have that much good fixing, so that is also playable. But I feel like they nailed it. I don't think it's reasonable to expect them to not have any Sliver Hive Lords, to not have any what's another, like, Clever Impersonators. Like, there's gonna be some janky fun cards, and you gotta remember too, they're also they're trying to support multiple formats with these sets. Yes, the focus is on Explorer, but this is also a chance for Wizards to be like, oh, like, here's a cool commander for Historic Brawl that we don't really have any other way to put into it. People like Slivers, let's throw Sliver Hive Lord in there. So to me, that doesn't actually like diminish the anthology, even though this card isn't really for Explorer, it's more for Historic Brawl, I would say. Same with like Shaman of the Pack. Yeah, elves aren't great in Explorer right now, but this is a really good elf that in someday we could need, and if elves do become good and we don't have it, it's going to be a problem. So I don't know, I think this is actually like a top tier. I'm very pleased. Big things that we're missing: Lotus Field combo pieces, although I kind of hate playing against that deck, so I'm actually not going to complain about that. I know it's got to come eventually, but for now I'm okay with us not having Lotus Field combo. The other one is the Delve spells. That's the other really big thing we're missing, like Treasure Cruise, Dig Through Time. Those are also kind of OP. Lucid for the 32nd month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. So yeah, anthology looking good. So how was everyone's weekend? Actually, what is everyone's hype level for? I mean, you could argue that Nykthos should be banned too, honestly. If they banned it, I would not complain. Even though I really don't want to see it banned. Did I see the new Alchemy cards? I briefly looked through them. Alchemy is the one format that I don't actually put a lot of effort into keeping up on because we don't really play it. Some of them looked interesting. Is there anything that stands out, Bobo, as far as cards that are going to be impactful from the new Alchemy? Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, so here's my argument about Nykthos. Is Mono Green Devotion too good for Pioneer? It might be. Is that because of Nykthos? Partly. Hey, what's up, Monster CC? Good to see you. However, here's my argument about Nykthos being okay. If Nykthos by itself, yeah, early stream because we got spoilers in an hour, a spoiler stream to watch, and then spoiler video to make for YouTube for Dominaria Remastered. So here's the argument. If Nykthos itself was truly broken, wouldn't we see at least one other Devotion deck be really good? Right now it's like Mono Green Devotion, arguably the best deck in the format. Although Phoenix did really well at the last big tournament, but Mono Green, arguably the best deck in the format. Then you have Mono White is like tier 3 probably, and then Mono Red, Mono Black, Mono Blue are like jank decks, not even on the tier list. I feel like if Nykthos itself was just way too overpowered, at least one other Devotion deck would be a top tier deck. So I would rather see them ban something for Mono Green Devotion if they have to, like Karn maybe, that lets the deck combo off. And then we'll still have Nykthos to play the janky decks, because that's what I'm hyped for. I'm hyped not to play Mono Green Devotion with Nykthos, but I'm hyped to play Mono Black Devotion, Mono Blue Devotion, Mono Red Devotion. Those decks can do really cool things, and they just would not exist without Nykthos. Like, we need Nykthos to make those decks be viable. Mono Green doesn't need Nykthos to be viable, so I think that Mono Green would still be pretty good without Nykthos. So I don't want to see Nykthos go. I want a chance to play the other Devotion decks. Oh, Master Waves we do need on Arena. Just ban Pestilent Cauldron. I mean, you could, although I think that Karn's just a messed up. It's just a messed up card. It's one of those remnants from the War of the Spark era. I feel like those Planeswalkers with static abilities. I guess we gotta play something here, don't we? We could just field everyone and take 3, but that's probably incorrect. I mean, I guess we just... Yeah, all right, whatever. Let's just Skyclave. Get rid of the Blood Tithe. Harvesta. So the combo in Mono Green. Oh. So Mono Green Devotion was already a good deck in Pioneer. And then players... This combo is actually kind of sneaky. I'm impressed that people figured it out. It took a minute for people to actually get there. It'll be easier if we actually pull up a deck list. But the main idea is... So this is what took Mono Green from a good but fair-ish deck in the format to arguably the best deck and arguably too good of a deck in the format. All right, so opponent kills our Skyclave. We draw. Dranith Magistrate. So we need our soul. Yeah, not doing much at the moment. What do we do here? We do need to stop dying. Not dying would be good. I vote for not dying. Well, I mean, I guess we gotta run out the Brutal Cathar. Sniping the token's kind of a freebie. Yeah, we'll just get rid of the token for now. Get rid of the token, play the Blades, hope for something to go with the Dranith Magistrate. So, Purple Saurus Rex, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup tier for you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So here's what made this deck bonkers. So the combo is, you got Karn the Great Creator. Karn the Great Creator can tutor artifacts from your sideboard. The trick is, so this means it can tutor up Pestilent Cauldron. Pestilent Cauldron actually doesn't matter. The front side, it's just an artifact, so you can tutor it with Karn. The part that makes it busted is Restorative Birth. The backside returns 2 creatures, lands, or planeswalkers from your graveyard to your hand, and you gain 4 life, and then it goes to exile. Going to exile is actually a benefit, because that means your Karn can tick down to get it from exile again. So what the loop the deck is trying to set up, and they're going to get a way more convoluted explanation of this, because it depends on the amount of mana or whatever, but the end game that it's trying to set up is Karn getting the Pestilent Cauldron to use Restorative Burst to keep getting planeswalkers back from the graveyard with Chain Veil, with the help of something like Kiora to untap it and Nykthos for tons of mana, just gives you infinite planeswalker activations. You're gaining infinite life, you go through your entire deck, and you'll win the game on the spot. So I would vote for getting rid of Karn, because I think Karn's a messed up card. If you just want to get rid of the combo, you could get rid of Restorative Burst. That would make the infinite combo go away. But I would lean towards just getting rid of Karn. I feel like the War of the Spark Planeswalkers, we've talked about this before. Something that happens in Magic Design. Hey, good to see you, Deseret. Something that happens in Magic Design, there's no Mana Tithe in Pioneer, unfortunately. We need to fix that. Wizards needs to reprint Mana Tithe. Mana Tithe would be fine for standard, right? Well, Skyclave's not the worst. Skyclave, get rid of the Bone Crusher Giant. And then Dranith Magistrate does keep our opponent from casting this Adventure Bone Crusher at the moment. So Bone Crusher down. Demolition Field. Dranith if we get to untap and play this Displacer, we're kinda in business. It's me, Fuzzy D, and Babatog. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to you, thank you. Opponent. Discarding to the blood token, pushing over our creatures. Oh geez. Well, that's tough. Tough. Oh, okay. 1, 2. I think we actually start with Paulo. 1, 2, 3. Paulo. Yeah, let's play Paulo. Make sure there's not another removals. Oh, there is. Oh, okay. Well. Take the... We're going to need to top deck something. Oh, what do we even take here? So he can still Dreadbore. But if they play this... Yeah, I mean, I guess we got to take Graveyard Trespasser. Play the Blast Zone. Pass the turn. We need them to Dreadbore the Spellbinder, I think. So I think something that happens a lot with Magic Design is when Wizards tries to do something new, they end up going too far and breaking it. We saw that with like equipment. We saw that with vehicles. It's a pretty common theme of Magic Design that Wizards they push a little bit too hard. They push a little bit too hard the first time. And I think that's what happened with the War of the Spark Planeswalkers. We've seen a lot of Planeswalkers with static abilities since then, and they've actually been pretty sweet. They've been pretty fun. I think a lot of them are positives, but they went a bit too far with the War of the Spark ones, including Karn. Karn is iconic. It should be the strongest Planeswalker of them all, though. The problem with Karn is the play pattern is really annoying. Karn being a really strong Planeswalker is fine. The thing that makes Karn annoying is the like tutor up these unbeatable things from the sideboard play pattern is just like so annoying. All right. Well, Wandering Emperor and Snipe the Bone Crusher Giant. So what is thank you, Zelda Savior. So what's the hype level for Dominaria Remastered? I'm curious. There's so many sets now. It used to be that the hype level was high for every set. I don't know if that's the case anymore. What is the hype level for Dominaria Remastered itself? 1, 2. Demolition Field. Get rid of the Haunted Ridge. Opponent has drawn so many Bone Crushers. So many Bone Crushers. And then I guess we just... Oh, but they're going to Dreadbore? All right. Blood Tithe Harvester is a really good card. Don't care. Hadn't heard of it until now. I don't really know what it is, so not high. Dominaria Remastered of retro frame cards. I believe it has retro frame cards. I mean, so it's a reprint set. The best comparison is probably Time Spiral Remastered. If you remember Time Spiral Remastered. Oh, okay, this is actually kind of good. So we get the Eldrazi Displacer. We can blank the token to get rid of it forever. Okay, I mean, things are coming along. Things are coming along. So I also want Cereal Box Ulamog. It's not standard legal. It's all reprints. Retro frame for a bunch of them. Very similar to Time Spiral Remastered. Think of it like a master set almost, except it's themed around Dominaria. It's going to have cards going all the way back to the earliest days of Magic, split between sets. So it's like basically a master set. About it. That's my concern is, are they going to print enough of it? Because Time Spiral Remastered was sweet. Oh, it was so sweet. Except they just didn't print much of it, so it got really expensive really quick. I know. The one thing I disliked about that Secret Lair drop was the suggestion that you should be putting milk on your cereal. Wizards should know better. You can't be leading. I mean, there's kids that play this game. There's kids. I know it's 13 up or whatever, but there's many kids that play Magic. You can't be leading them astray, telling them to put milk on their cereal. Seriously, Wizards, come on now. Think of the children. Well, all right, Cave of the Frost Dragon. Go. How do we beat a Bone Crusher Giant, though? I guess flipping this is a good start. So we get to flip. Opponent flips the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Goes to combat. And... oh, God. Okay, Graveyard Trespasser. We knew about that. This Blast Zone could be good, except it's going to kill our own Brute. But we can blow up our opponent's almost their entire board here. All right, counters on the Blast Zone. Opponent. Oh, this works. This works, doesn't it? We flash it in. The synergies. Okay. Early stream because of spoilers. We're gonna watch the spoiler stream together at 1, like an hour from now. And then next week, also next Tuesday, expect an early stream because that is the early sneak peek of Phyrexia. Northern Vanguard for the 45th month. I hope they actually allocate a good amount of Dominaria Remastered to stores. I've already heard it's going to be very limited. I mean, that is the problem. Well, okay, this is sweet. We're gonna Containment Priest. And then we're gonna Blast Zone. We get to kill everything. And The Blood Tithe Harvester doesn't get to come back because of Containment Priest, putting it to exile. Opponent desperately flooding away a Thoughtseize. And Misery Shadow, okay. Well, Portable Hole is a good answer to that. So, Portable Hole. Get rid of the Shadow. Are we going to tax him? Are we actually going to be able to tax him out of this? Get him with a Containment Priest, hit ya. Down to 18 about it. They're starting in about an hour. There's going to be a... Oh, we sacked all of our colorless lands. Maybe sacking all of our colorless lands was a bit greedy. Maybe we should have left one in case we draw a Thought-Knot here. Yeah, there's a WotC stream in an hour that we'll watch together. And then after the WotC stream, we'll discuss it a bit. But then I gotta go make a spoiler video for the YouTubes about it. Okay, make some 1/1s. How much do we care about this Containment Priest? Actually, maybe a bit. Yeah, let's keep it. Bounce a token. Oh, and they had... Wow, opponent, Fatal Push. Okay. No good top decks, opponent. No good top decks. We really need to color this land. This is a Eldrazi Displacer Containment. Oh, that's an issue. That's an issue. Well, we draw a colorless land, although our opponent is now officially empty-handed, making this Thought-Knot Seer much less exciting. Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, so basically we need to draw another removal spell. All right, well, run out. Thought-Knot Seer. Removal spell this turn, basically. You're very light yellow. My camera's coming tomorrow, I promise. This backup camera just does not look nearly as good as I'd like. All right. Well, we have one-ish turn. Opponent gets in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Misery Shadow's that's a good draw. That's a good draw. Opponent. Yeah, Urabros could be interesting. I think the question is, I mean, maybe you can make it work with 2 colors. The mana's a little sketch for the colorless stuff. So opponent, gonna make a huge Misery Shadow. Maybe we should have held on to the Soul Partition. Well, okay. So I guess we're in chump block with our land mode. Wow, we're gonna just lose. Is Misery Shadow busted? Maybe Misery Shadow's busted. Opponent, gonna go to combat. Gonna go attacking. We're gonna fire up Cave of the Frost Dragon. We're gonna block. We're running out of time to find an answer. Opponent pubs. Once we start blocking with Thought-Knots, it's so bad because then our opponent starts drawing cards. Yeah, Shadow seems unbeatable. Oh. All right. Well, dead. Thought-Knot was not very impressive that game. Bought Dominaria Remastered on Amazon for $168. May end up being one of my best specs ever. Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty excellent deal. How do we beat Rakdos? Can we beat Rakdos? I mean, we got to do cool little synergies. We got to see the Containment Priest, but in the end, our opponent just like, I'm gonna play a bunch of really powerful cards. Apparently was enough. Also, I appreciate that shield rid slow roll from our opponent. Had to do all the pumping with it. Oh, we're just like straight up dead if they cast it, but Rakdos is really sweet outside of green. Here's a really strong mono black deck that I love. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm mostly excited about is I'm not super excited about mono green devotion being a thing on Arena, but I'm excited about being able to play mono black or mono red. Yeah, this looks super fun, Labrador. I like it. Ooh, Underworld Dreams with Children. We got all the card draw punishment going. Spoiler stream is in 45-ish minutes, so not yet. Not yet. It's coming up. Huh. So I guess we just try to, I don't know. Is Soul Partition good? Is it actually worth it? Or is all this just like way too cute? That's the question. Like, we got all these like cute, like, I got my Drain of Magistrate and I Soul Partition you, and then it might be one of those decks that makes you feel real smart because you feel like you got your opponent. But in the end, is it really better than just like playing a normal removal spell? Yeah, cute is better than good, might be where we're at. Did y'all see the last card was spoiled? Hey, what was the last card? Turtle Power. Did I miss it? Is it Mana Confluence? Oh, we got a sideboard. Someone mentioned Mana Confluence. All right, wedding announcements seem... We got to be able to grind with our opponent. Wedding announcements come in. Big Gideon can come in. Go down. Maybe Thalia's. We can trim like a portable hole. Maybe trim a Thought Knot. And you know what? Let's go down all the... Wow, look at that pile of 3-drops. That curve, though. I did see they spoiled Urza's Incubator from somewhere for Dominaria Remastered. And Urza's Incubator, I think, is oddly expensive. I'm pretty sure. I never see anyone play it. Well, I guess it's expensive because it doesn't really get... Yeah, it's like 40... It's like $45. It's $45. It was printed once in Commander 2015 and then Anthology, but... I mean, that's a solid reprint. I don't know. It's one of those cards that... It makes it super clear that... And we knew this. This isn't a surprise, but it does really exemplify that what is Mythic depends on how expensive a card is. Like, Urza's Incubator... There's no argument that like, oh no, this would be too good for limited or whatever. This is purely straight up, oh, it's a $50 card, so it's a Mythic now. Like, we don't want to put it at rare because, you know, that would make it too cheap. The price would drop too much. It would be too accessible. But we can do the little drip where we'll put it at Mythic in a really low supply set, and everyone will get excited because it's a $50 reprint, but it won't really. I mean, it might actually impact the price just because who plays this card? No one plays Urza's Incubator. I think even on EDH Rec, does anyone play it? I feel like this is a card that's just 2% of decks. Okay, combo with the Serac, Unesh, and even in those decks, it's a little fringy. I mean, it's definitely a good reprint. I will not complain about having a good reprint, although I think it's a card that could have been at rare. It could have definitely been at rare. But still, any reprint is better than no reprint. So I will still be happy. Well, let's focus on the positive of more Urza's Incubators in the wild rather than the slight disappointment of it being at Mythic. Hive in the Eye Tyrant and Blood Tithe Harvester. Sure. Probably better known as Annoying. I mean, if we draw land and just get to... Oh, boy. Well, we really want to land. If we can draw land in triple Thought Knot Seer, that could do some work. Blood Tithe Harvester. Extinction Event. Graveyard Trespasser. And a million lands. Well, let's take Blood Tithe Harvester. We're really counting on getting to these Thought Knots before the Extinction Event wrecks us. About it. So is Sliver Hive Lord the worst for Mythic of the two Explorer anthologies? Yes, but I don't think it's for Explorer. I think it's a slot that Wizards dedicated to like Historic Brawl. And I think that's fine. I don't think that every card in Explorer anthology has to be... I want most of the cards to be focused on on Explorer and turning into Pioneer. But if there's a couple cards that are serving other purposes, I feel like Clever Impersonator is kind of like that too. Like, no one really plays Clever Impersonator in Pioneer or Explorer, but it's a card that people would play in their Historic Brawl deck. So I'm okay with them spending, a few slots in these anthologies to add cards to like Historic Brawl or whatever. There's still also Historic anthologies. Those will still happen too. Clever Impersonator is a key piece to Garuda. I guess that's true. I guess there are fringe decks that do actually play it. Shieldred. Boy, I wish we had drawn lands. That would have made our life so much easier. Instead, we will die. Oh, boy. We have a handful of some of the best 4-drops imaginable, but it just doesn't matter if you don't get a 4th land. So we solved the deer problem, chat. Remember the saga of Bear and the Deer that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks? Attempt one of solving the deer problem was dragging the deer from the pond out into the woods like 100 feet. That was a bad idea. It involved dragging a full-grown deer into a woods. A very disgusting deer that had been in a pond for like a month. That was not the best idea, but got it way out in the woods. The problem is all that actually did was make Bear go 100 feet further into the woods to find the deer. So then I would have to go, oh boy, we're just not going to find this land. So then I would have to go 100 feet out in the woods to get Bear away from the deer. Drag it to the road. Animal Control, I don't think, cares. When we had the Great Raccoon fight and thought Bear had gotten attacked by a rabid raccoon, they were like, yeah, just put it in your garbage can. We don't do stuff like that. So even if the animal was potentially rabid, they don't care apparently. Yeah, we can't do it. Not enough lands. Oh, that was disappointing. So dragged it out in the woods. Bear continued to go out into the woods. So the next step was dragging it back out of the woods and ended up cremating it. And I think that finally worked. So the deer is now officially a pile of ashes. May it rest in peace. Rest in ashes. But it's gone. So we got rid of it. And Bear looks so confused. The first day we went for a walk with the deer being gone, he was looking everywhere for that deer. His brain could not comprehend, I don't think, the fact that it did not exist anymore. So he was just like, he was searching every place, looking all over. I think he was kind of sad. What's the best 4-drop in your opinion? Just the best 4-drop ever, period? Or like for this deck? I mean, what's the best 4-drop ever? Omnath, maybe? Jace the Mind Sculptor, Omnath. Those are ones that immediately come to mind. Questing Beast. I was actually just working on a video about the best creature. Oh no, Lotus Field. I was actually just working on a video about the best creature from every year of Magic. So not like, oh, in 1995, this was printed, and then eventually they played it in Commander a million years later or whatever. The best creature at the time, and it was pretty interesting to just see how much the game has evolved. Like, do you remember Balduvian Horde? That was like the truth back in... That was like the truth back in 1995. Everyone was like, oh my god, it's a 4-mana 5/5. What's going on? That's so over the curve. But yeah, like, sure, you got to discard a card when it comes into play, or you got to sacrifice it. But that was like so expensive and such a huge deal. That was like blowing people's minds. And then you look at like Questing Beast. And then you look at Questing Beast, and it's got like 3 mechanics. It's got 3 paragraphs of text on it. Yeah, it's like this super... It's just so funny. Or even like Ragavan from Savannah Lions. Like back in 1993, Savannah Lions, whew, 1 mana and 2 power. 1 mana and 2 power. How are you ever going to beat it? Like that's so aggro. And then you get Ragavan, which is like Savannah Lions, but it draws you a card each turn, and it ramps you each turn. Or like Juzum Jin to Shieldred. Juzum Jin, the biggest finisher back in its era, 4 mana 5/5, and you gotta lose life each turn. And then Shieldred's just like that with a ton of extra text on it. So yeah, the evolution of creatures in Magic is pretty interesting. Well, now we actually get a good Thought-Knot Seer. Hopefully we can take something meaningful from our opponent. Ooh. Double Pour Over Pages. Well, we'll take one of those. And then we'll smack our opponent with Eldrazi Displacer. About it. Also, these cards are coming to Arena, right? We're getting the Eldrazi on Arena. Do you think the Eldrazi will have an impact? It's funny that Ironworks gets tagged by being checked by Mogs because the second word is in the actual card name. Yeah, automods are always fun. Hey, Ludi, good to see you. How are you? Black only got 2 cards. Yeah, I mean, Black doesn't need more cards at this point. Black's cards are already so good. Do they find the Lotus? So we can start blinking our Thought-Knot Seer to keep taking stuff from our opponent's hand, which is pretty good. If they find Lotus Field, which they do they win because of Hope Tender? Maybe. So they sack 2 lands, but then they can untap both lands. And then hope... Ugh. Okay. And then copy it to have 2 Lotus Fields. All right, Thought-Knot Seer. Save us, Eldrazi. Eldrazi are definitely the good guys here. All right, double Lotus Field. Well. Ooh, Thalia's actually... That would have been good earlier, but... Go to combat. Hit you for... Maybe we can just tax them. Hit you for 7. Down to 10. Play Thalia. Play Castle Ardenvale. Stop on our opponent's draw step. Blink the Thought-Knot Seer. So opponent gets to draw. But then we get to do some thought seizing. Hopefully, we know they have Pour Over the Pages, which we really do not want in our opponent's hand. Oh, okay. Take the Pour Over Pages. You can untap your lands all you would like about it. Favorite 4-drop, just not Panharmonicon. Do you consider drops to be anything? For some reason, when I think of drops, I think of creatures. But, I mean, Panharmonicon is my favorite. Since Blood Moon does not cost 4 mana. Well, play Demolition Field. Go to combat. Hit our opponent for a bunch. I mean, I guess we just keep doing the same thing. Hit ya. Opponent. Untaps. Eldrazi Displacer is actually doing work. What do I think about... Oh, someone asked about Aetherflux Reservoir on Arena. Hasn't Reservoir been on Arena? Being a retro artifact didn't change anything, right? Okay. Sure. Float a mana. Opponent copies. All right. Well, as long as our opponent doesn't top... Eldrazi Temple in Historic would be... Do you really want, like, modern Eldrazi in Historic? I don't know at this point. Historic's so wild that sure. I guess I don't I don't care. But Eldrazi Temple's busted. That card is straight up busted. Oh, I know the channel point conundrum. Well, let us blink this. Let's blink this Thought Knot here. So what did everyone do this weekend? Anyone do anything sweet? Well, blank Thought Knot. Do a little hand check. You get to draw the card first. And then Thought Knot takes a peek. Hold. Oh, got set. Yeah, everyone. It is a sick time of year. Everyone's getting sick. It's been, I know. I know. The thing about the channel points is, the thing about the channel point thing is every month that goes by, it gets worse because there's more channel points. So it actually becomes harder to figure out. It becomes harder to figure out what to do with that because the amount that is built up is getting higher and higher. Wow, we actually just beat Lotus Field. I know. All right, what do we do? What do we do here? Well, it's actually like kind of a practical thing because it would be cool to be like, oh, like you can spend your channel points on whatever, like get some merch or like spend so much to play a game of Commander with me or something. Like stuff like that would be really cool. But if everyone has like 150,000 points, what do you do? Like what? Like there's just so many that have been built up. There's got to be something though. We should. I agree with you, Stone Rain. Maybe I know I've been saying this forever, and we still have not made progress on it. But I definitely agree. We need to figure out something. Well, creature removal, like portable hold is, well, I guess we saw that untapper, so I guess it kind of does something. Soul Partition. That seems like it does pretty much nothing. Skyclave does pretty much nothing. Rest in Peace does a little something. Maybe Gideon? Does Gideon actually save us from their combo kill? I assume they have a way to win through it, but better than like Brutal Cathars. Oh, we have a lot of cards that do nothing, don't we? Better than Brutal Cathars. Maybe even Gideon's better than the Skyclave. They just don't have many permanents. At least Gideon's a clock. Yeah, let's try it like that. Let's try it like that. Oh, karaoke. Oh no. Oh no. What would you sing? That would actually be, is there a way to do community karaoke? Would you sing if you had the option? Hey, what's up, lots of spaghetti? Like if there was a way that we could do a stream where you would be able to call in and do whatever karaoke you wanted, would you actually sing a song? Direct match points redeem. Yeah, like so that's one of the examples of how it gets harder because there's so many points built up that it would be sweet to be like, oh, if you get a bunch of points, you can spend them and we'll play a match. But at this point, I'm worried there's such a big amount of points built up in the system that it would just be like viewer battles for the next 6 months or something as we tried to work through all the points that were out there. Or the same for Momir. It'd be like, okay, for the next 6 months, every stream is just Momir 24/7 as we work through channel points. So I don't know how, like, that's the sticking point. Yeah, 1 million points. 1 million points and you get to play a game. I guess at least there would be something about it. Well, there's the Lotus Field with the untappers. Opponent's off to a much better start this game. I guess it's possible we should just mulligan this to find something more aggressive. We're gonna get probably wrecked here. All right, so there's a Lotus field. Opponent untaps it. You could just do your same content and then limit the commander games to 1 redeemable per day or something like that. Yeah, I mean, that would be really sweet. The problem is, yeah, adding cards to a deck, like choosing decks, that might be the easiest way to do it. Like, so many points in your deck, and we'll play your deck. Almost like people do donation deck streams, except you wouldn't actually have to donate any money. You would just use channel points. Something like that could be neat. That could work. And that would be practical. My concern with being like, okay, like we'll play a ton of commander games or something, is I'm worried that would end up just like hurting the stream and the content overall. Because I don't think people want to watch like every stream just being a commander stream with viewers for 6 months or something. So I'm afraid that if we did that, it would just end up, I guess maybe there's a way to do it where like 1 stream a month we play a commander game with viewers, but then it would take like infinite time for everyone to get their games in. Hey, what's up, dog? Oh no need to apologize. Yeah, today's a weird one. But like add a card to a deck, play your deck on stream, build, you could do like against the odds thing, like so many points and we build a deck around a card of your choice. So if you have like a pet card that you love and you don't have a deck for, redeem a bunch of points and we'll build a deck around it on stream. Redeem for a sub. I wonder if there's a way to do that. I don't know how the system is interlinked with Twitch, so I don't know if there's an easy way to do it. Aspiring Spike does deck decks where a viewer pays to have you look at their deck and give feedback. The only thing about that is like we kind of, hey, what's up, Jess guy? We kind of already just do that for free, so I don't want to start like charging people channel points for things that there's Emergent Ultimatum. I don't want to start charging people channel points for things that we already do, because I think in general, the way the stream is set up, like if you have a deck and you want me to look at it, you can just come to the stream and be like, hey, here's my cool deck, and I'll look at it. Maybe there's a way to offer more. I guess a lot of times it's like, look at the deck for 30 seconds or whatever. Maybe there's a way to be more in depth or something if people paid for it, but 5K to make you pronounce a word, 10K to show bear on stream for a few minutes, 20K for a deck, 50K for 1 game with your deck, 75K fish doctor, 100K play best in 1 game with viewers once a day. Those are some good ideas, Stone Rains. I watch another streamer called Lobos who has 100K and he reads a fact from his book of facts. Wait, is it a book he wrote? Is it his own facts? Hey, what's up, Raiders? It's That's True Hero. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone. We do probably need to do another charity pizza stream, though. We need to. It's a good time of year for giving. Maybe we gotta do another charity stream to raise some money for a good cause. I mean, this is deterministically a win. I don't even know anymore. Sure. Tutor a bunch of times. I mean, I think we die here. Do we even have to sit through this? We're trying to tax him in Pioneer. What's the best pizza? Well, last time we did a pizza charity stream, the idea was people could donate, which it was all going to, what was the charity? Was it a hunger charity? That would have made sense. I don't know. It was a bit ago. I don't remember the charity we did it for, but you could donate to add toppings to the pizza. And then at the end of the stream, we actually ordered the pizza and I had to eat. I had to eat some of each, and oh my, I still have nightmares about some of those pizzas. Leave it to y'all to find a way to ruin pizza. How can you ruin pizza? It's so easy. Pizza's so easy. It's so hard to ruin a pizza. You just put the good stuff on it, like pepperoni, like even just cheese. You don't got to put anything on it, and pizza's it's fine. Like it's good enough. But you somehow find a way to actually make pizza disgusting, which was impressive, I guess. I guess that's actually a skill. The anchovies were the worst. I can deal with pineapple. I don't like pineapple on pizza, but Pineapple on pizza is also not gonna like make me throw up. Anchovies, on the other hand, anchovies on pizza will actually just make me will make me sick. They're so gross. I do not understand how anyone likes those. Donut to remove toppings. Oh, we would have raised so much money. If I had the option to donate to get anchovies off of the pizza, I would be broke. All my money goes to charity. Plains Goat. Well, this hand's not bad. Thalian to Thought Not Seer is kind of legit. No, I refuse to think that anyone unironically likes anchovies. Whenever anyone says they like it, I'm fully convinced they're just trolling. They gotta be. There's no way. There's no way that anyone actually likes that taste. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those acquired taste things. It's gotta be. Any chance you have a Saffron Olive Spotify playlist we could follow? I've been to this AJ Day since you put it in the video. Ooh, AJ Day's sweet. Yes. Let me see. I have a couple of playlists. Is there a way to just, can you just share your Spotify account and people can look at it? Well, that's Paulo. This is a nice little tax hand against what our opponent's doing. Sylvan Scrying, pour over pages. So Sylvan Scrying can get Lotus Field. I mean, I guess we just take the pour over pages. Or do we? If they Sylvan Scrying Lotus Field, Sylvan Scrying Thespian Stage, I guess we can Field of Ruin it. All right, so take a pour over pages. I think this works. Hit you for 2. Anchovies are legit good on Caesar salad. You have to have contrast to the briny taste. I do wonder if maybe the anchovies that we had were not very good. Someone made the argument that there are like actual good anchovies. But the ones that you will just get at a random pizzeria have probably been sitting around forever and not good at all. That seems possible. I still have a hard time imagining that I would enjoy the other version, the better version of anchovies, but it is possible that we ate like really low tier anchovies. Sylvan Scrying. Oh, Hidden Stirrings. Oh no, now we gotta think. So our opponent plays Lotus Field, sacks 2 lands. They Sylvan Scrying. They basically have 2 turns to win. How do they win in 2 turns? So you hit them for 5. So we need this turn and 2 more turns. Yeah, the DMR streams in like 15, 20 minutes, and we will watch it together. Hey, what's up, Shabda? How are you? Oh no, are we going to talk about dressing? Dressing on salad is like milk on cereal. Just, you don't do it. I think the general theme is I don't really like things on things when it comes to food. All right, how do we win from here? Do we take Hidden Stirrings? So we take Hidden Stirrings. Or do we try to keep them off? Yeah, we'll just take Hidden Stirrings. Take Hidden Stirrings. These double portable holes not looking great. Hit ya. Down to 12. So next turn, our opponent's going to Lotus Field and probably Sylvan Scrying. They also have to do this through a Thalia, which is going to slow him down a little bit. We might be good. Just eat straight lettuce. I mean, if I eat salad, yeah. I mean, the meat on it's okay. Like, yeah, the meat and cheese, that part's good, and the vegetables. You just don't want the dressing on it. Yeah, I think ooh, wow. Opponent goes with impulse. Okay. I think we should be good. If our opponent wins through this, that would be a very impressive Lotus field win. If you win through Thalia, double tax effect. I just finished yesterday's cast. Curious how it is that you get picked on a table if you play Sarah Ascendant when you're the one with the huge beater. The aggro player is the one people make deals with so they don't get smacked repeatedly. So I think the idea would be it probably gets killed. So I think it's like not super likely that it actually just sticks around for the whole game. Well, okay. Well, hit ya with the dorks. And then I guess we just rest in peace. We saw Lear. Yeah, let's just rip. Run out rest in peace. Deal with the graveyards and say, opponent, if you can win from here, then hats off to you. Do I eat ranch on anything? Not really, no. So I think the thinking is that it's going to die. My assumption is you play Sarah Ascendant, you probably get in a couple of attacks with it, you gain a bit of life, and then you hit people for 12 damage, maybe 18 damage, and then there's going to be a Wrath, or there's going to be a, wow, we got there. There's going to be a Wrath, there's going to be a removal spell, and then everyone's still going to be, well, you got the most life, you have the Sarah Ascendant, we're going to kill you. So I think that would be what I would be worried about. Obviously, if it just sticks around, then that's fine. Like, if you just have it all game and can defend yourself, then that's probably good. But I think the odds of that are kind of low. We talked about hot takes. Do you have any? What's your Magic hot take? We talked about hot takes on the last podcast. I was surprised how forcefully Richard came out against Sarah Ascendant, because it does seem kind of like a Richard-y card. Like, it's a light card, it's a weenie card, but I think for Richard it just draws too much heat. It goes against Richard's philosophy of trying to like not be the target of anything. Hot take is not putting milk on Sarah. That is a very tame take. That is just the correct take. Yeah, that was a good tax win. We actually taxed Lotus Field right out of it. My hot take is that Magic is fun, and you don't have to hate everything about your Bishop of Wings, and you don't have to hate everything about your hobby. I mean, I definitely agree that Magic is fun. I do wonder. Let's portable hole. Get rid of the Bishop. I mean, I don't know how many people actually hate everything about their hobby. I do think people complain a lot. I mean, that's kind of the Magic player way. We're 1-1 so far. We got kind of wrecked by... Oh, we need a land here. Land for Skyclave would be sweet. Okay. Well, that makes things a lot worse. Oh, we've had some mana screw issues. Hot take. Magic's land system is hot trash. It needs to change, even if a new format needs to be made. How would you change Magic's land system? I think for me, that's one of those things that at first glance makes a lot of sense, but then when you think more about it, the line, they got to be Cocoing, right? And we're going to flash in this Containment Priest and just absolutely wreck them. That's the idea. If they don't Coco, then I guess they get us. But who plays around main deck Containment Priest? Nobody. Hopefully not Sam P. Yes! Texas! Oh, opponent. Would you like to spend 4 mana for nothing? Got him. The problem with the land thing, I think, is at first blush it makes sense, but then when you think about how Magic is balanced around, the variance is balanced around the lands, I think that's when it starts to get a lot more questionable. So 1, 2, activate this 1, 2. I guess let's just Skyclave. Get rid of this Reliquary Angel that is about to be a problem. Demolition Field, go. Yeah, early stream because we got spoilers in like 10 minutes or something. Hot take. Fire everyone involved in fire design. They're bad at their jobs. Wow, that is definitely a hot take. So that's what fire design stands for. You literally get fired for designing cards that way. I guess it's a flavor win. Hot take. I put my soup in the microwave for too long, and it hurt when I had to put my hand on the bowl. Yeah, microwaves they'll do that. They can be brutal. I had a friend, oh my goodness, one of my best friends, all through growing up, was very bad at doing anything. He was very good at playing guitar. Other than that, he didn't really like make his own food or anything. Definitely remember him having some serious issues, like putting just the entire packaging of stuff in the microwave, metal and all, not taking the top off of it, blowing stuff up. Microwaves can be dangerous. They really can. No PT coverage has evolved Magic. Yeah, I think Wizards has to realize. I think Wizards has to realize now. And let's Portable Hole get rid of this youthful Valkyrie. I think Wizards has to realize now that stuff actually really matters. Like, go tagging. I think a lot of what we're seeing now, some of the issues, come down to not having any organized play. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Like, wow, done. Angels, done. Like, without organized play. Hey, what's up, Dirty? Good to see ya. Without organized play, without the dream of the Pro Tour, why buy real cards? Why? Actually, if anyone here is an LGS, I would love to hear the answer to this. This came up on the podcast yesterday. I'm curious what y'all think about it. So one of my hot takes was that we should allow more proxies in Modern, in Legacy, in formats like that. They've become accepted in Commander, especially recently, but without there being organized play to qualify for and qualifiers that matter. I know it's like coming back slightly, but it's definitely not where it was before, where we had these things like every weekend. If you're not doing the tournament thing, wouldn't it make sense for local game stores to be like, well, we're just going to run unsanctioned events. You can play whatever you want. Like, you can play your proxies, whatever. Come in, if you want to proxy, $1,000 Modern deck and play your fetch lands are proxied, we don't really care. I'm really curious what the downside of that is for an LGS. Like, if you go the unsanctioned direction and just let people play proxies in your tournaments that are not sanctioned, what do you lose? Does Wizards take away like your promos? Can you not do pre-releases? Is there some drawback to that? Because if there's not a big drawback, it seems like that would be worth it, since there's just not that much to qualify for anyway. And if there's not that much to qualify for, like, what's the point in running sanctioned events? Like, why? Why would it matter? If you want to even more questionable question, could an LGS sell proxies? I'm not talking about counterfeits. I'm talking about, something that's not trying to mimic legal cards. What is the actual legality of that? I see places online selling proxies all the time with custom art or whatever. Could an LGS have a $5, could they have a $5 Gaia's Cradle custom art proxy in their case? Is that legal? What is the law of that? Would Wizards? I'm sure they would not like it, but could they do anything about it? And if so, what's the difference between that and them being sold online? Like, super online proxies are sold super openly, like custom art proxies by the artist or by someone else. That's not even like a hidden thing. So why don't they get? So I'm assuming like the actual proxies are legit. Like, a proxy artist does it and they're on board with it and okay with it. Not that you're like trying to rip off an artist or something. Like, youthful Valkyrie. All right, opponent's getting off to a faster start here. Yada. Yup. Well, run out the Containment Priest. Untap. Ooh, Guild of Gwyn. And Paulo, number 1. How do we beat a youthful Valkyrie? If I've learned anything, if I've learned anything from Nintendo and Super Smash Bros., it's that companies can and will send cease and desist to letters to unsanctioned events. Ooh, opponent's hand is actually really bad. Really bad. 2 Cocos that don't work against Containment Priest. Like, as long as we can answer this youthful Valkyrie, we're kind of in business here. Opponent's hand is dreadful. Dreadful. Giada, Bishop of Wings, 2 Cocos that don't work because we have a Containment Priest. I think we're going to beat Angels. Legally speaking, proxy takes place of something you already own. I mean, maybe that's true legally, but that's not how the phrase is commonly used in Magic. Opponent. Okay, Giada part 2. Getting a little bigger. Sure. Opponent passes. Ooh, Ajano's actually great here. Well, play the land, pass the turn. So we need a Wandering Emperor, the youthful Valkyrie. And then we can Ajano the Giada. And then Thought Not... I think we're good. MTG stream is live. Is it really? Already? Okay, it's starting soon. It's starting soon. I'll keep an eye. Hopefully we can finish this Angels match before we jump over and watch spoilers. If you see them actually like doing stuff like showing off cards, give me the heads up, but I'll try to track it. I'm actually kind of hyped for this set. I think Dominaria Remastered should be really sweet. All right, opponent smacks us down to 13. Now tick up on Paulo. Play the land. Hit you with Paulo. Opponent gonna take it. Thought Not Seer. Take a Bishop of Wings. Pass the turn. Opponent down to 14. Opponent. Oh, I'm not advanced enough to do picture in picture. I can hover it over here. There's a dragon being kicked by an angel. I think I could probably do picture in picture if I set it up before the stream. Oh my god, what a blowout. Giada. Oh, this is game. And then we can go watch spoilers. Skyclave. Yoink you. And oh, what a brutal game. What a brutal win. Pioneer Taxes with Soul Partition? Actually legit? Keep those Cocos. Coco away, my friend. Here we come. The janky beats. Paulo. Thought Not. Hit ya for 10 down to 4. Opponent needs a card that doesn't exist. And scoops it up. Ooh, no lands GG. Indeed. GG. We actually, wow, the deck actually kind of worked. We did benefit from our opponent not having lands, although it is worth pointing out, our Containment Priest is a big part of why that was actually so good. I feel bad for the opponent. I feel bad for the missing land drops. They need like a 2-mana Wrath of God or something. they need something that I don't think is an actual card. Balance. Oh my, could you imagine balance here? Is Soul Partition actually good? I mean, so far we're 2-1 with the deck. Although I will say that I don't know if Soul Partition is the reason why. Probably in spite, wow, they're already, do you think that, wow. Do you think that Twitch chat will ever stop posting greed to everything Wizards does? Are people ever gonna get over that? Greed, shameless charlatan, greed. It's apparently that is, wow, greed. I'm hype. I am hype. Can't wait for Shivan Dragon reprint. Me either. Borderless Sylvan Library one time. Oh, here we go. All right.
To a blowout
Spoiler
edition
time.
of
Spoiler
Weekly
time.
MTG. We have so
right,
many
let's see these spoilers.
Dominaria Remastered previews today.
How's
We're going
the
to try to fit them all in an hour, but
how's
we have
the
a
audio
lot
level?
to talk about. Now, the first question that some of you might have is why we're doing Dominaria Remastered previews in essentially a single day. We're going to do a bunch of previews today, and then
I was wondering
the full
about that,
card image
Blake.
gallery will contain the rest of the set tomorrow. So it's kind of a two-day preview.
2 day spoiler.
But the big question is why? So we've heard a lot of feedback lately related to two things. We've actually heard a lot of feedback related to a lot of things, but I'm going to talk about two things today. One is the prevalence of preview season, and the other is releases being on top of one another. So we are making some slight changes. To adjust for that, including this
Wizards is listening?
quick preview season for DMR and some shifts for Phyrexia All Will Be One. So, a few things to keep in mind before I say these two things. Even as we hear feedback, Magic's release schedule is worked on years in advance. So we talk a lot about designing cards years in advance, but when we're designing cards for a set and designing those sets,
maybe all those
we
people
often do
saying
so with the
greed
release
actually
date in mind.
did
So
something.
work back schedule, that whole deal. So there are only so many knobs we can turn. So 2023 is mostly set, but there are knobs we can turn to address some of this feedback. So let's turn some of those knobs. The first change we made was this preview season. So we have heard quite a bit about preview seasons being always on. Now, it's important to keep in mind that things like first looks, thing we're doing with Phyrexia All Will Be One next week, those are intended to give advance notice to retailers to help them make their purchasing decisions and decide what to stock. So it feels always on, but
the early looks.
There is a method to our madness. That said, given that DMR is a reprint set, we're going to try something with this set. As I said, we're doing the preview season really contained. We're blowing it out today. This is probably the fastest, as long as I've been here, the fastest official preview season.
Do you like that idea?
That we've ever done, so that we can get the information out in the world.
What do you think? Does having the spoiler season be shorter
we've been making preview
solve any
seasons
issues?
Shorter where we can, and this is as absolutely short as we can make this one. We'll see how it goes, but we wanted to try it out, and we figured an all reprint set was a good way to do it.
Blake doesn't look that miserable today.
Also pretty awesome. I think you're going to get.
Sometimes he looks way more miserable than he does today.
The second change is that we wanted to give a little bit more breathing room between releases. Dominaria Remastered releases January 13th. And then originally, 3 weeks after that, was Phyrexia All Will Be One. Now, 2023 releases are pretty locked in. There's only so much we can tweak. But we do have a few knobs we can turn. And so what we're going to do is we're going to push back Phyrexia All Will Be One's release date by a week. So it's now going to release February 10th. And we have some dates we can throw up on the screen. So next week will be the first look at Phyrexia All Will Be One. Again, that's the sort of high-level
I guess.
treatments, some cards, that sort of thing.
Our knobs have been turned.
And then we'll start with story for Phyrexia All Will Be One on January 12th.
Do they
and then
have
we'll start previews on January 17th.
Technology to turn the knobs.
Debut, followed by pre-release events kicking off January 3rd, digital release. February 3rd. Digital release February 7th, and then the tabletop release, that new date is February 10th. So again, we're pushing it back a little bit to try to give a little bit more room. There wasn't much more we could push it.
I mean, that's not bad, right? Like, Blake turned the knob a week back. That, in the grand scheme of things, does Phyrexia releasing 1 week later really matter? I don't think that really changes much. But I think the big takeaway is this does show that Wizards has heard us. Like, they have heard this feedback. They had the Bank of America thing. They had the Magic 30 thing. They've had the community and people outside the community being like, Wizards, you gotta chill. You gotta slow down a little bit. Even though moving back the release date by 1 week isn't gonna, be some huge change. I appreciate that this shows that they are listening. They have heard us.
For a lot of these
they have heard us.
So Dominaria Remastered. If you're not familiar, is a set that takes cards printed in Dominaria.
Show us something good, Blake. Show us something good. Twist the spoiler knob, Blake. Twist the spoiler knob.
So if a card was in a Dominaria featured set, it is fair game for this. So we're going to see a lot of cool cards today. So let's first of all learn a little bit about what's in the product. So we've got 2 types of boosters. There are draft boosters, and this
why is this floating over the screen?
Draft from the past,
there we go.
I keep rhyming. And then collector
Sarah
boosters.
Angel? What is this character?
Of those packs, let's talk about what you can get.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna have serialized cards again.
There. So in a draft
fetches
booster,
would be hyped.
So I'm gonna start at the bottom because the top is where there's a little more explanation.
So draft booster, rare mythic, foil. Oh, okay. So foil every time. Uncommons, commons, non-foil retro basic land. What do you think about retro basic lands? I'm curious. Oh, it could be FTK. It might be Flame Tongue Kavu. What do you think about retro basic lands? Are they weird? Retro basic land. I love retro cards. I love old border cards. I'm fine with having more of them as much as possible. I will say lands are weird to me because you can get so many old border basic lands for so cheap. I guess maybe it's good for new players who might not know about being able to buy them on the secondary market. But those are the one old border thing that has struck me as weird because there's just infinite cheap old border basics that you can get pretty easily.
Right.
But
then the collector boosters.
Collector booster.
A lot going on here. So we've got
foil retro borderless rare mythic, borderless rare mythic, retro rare or mythic, foil retro borderless commons and uncommons, 2 retro borderless commons and uncommons, 1 foil rare mythic, 2 foil uncommons, 5 foil commons, foil retro basic land, 1 foil token double-sided. Okay, sounds like
common or uncommon.
Normal collector booster
or
stuff.
Borderless, common or uncommons. 1 foil rare or
to the
mythic,
Fishbowl.
2
Thank you
foil uncommons,
so
5
much
foil
for your
commons,
subscription.
1 foil retro
Thank you.
And then 1
what sets are on Dominaria,
which
chat?
Is double-sided.
So this is all cards that were on the sets from the planes of Dominaria.
As I mentioned, that you
what sets do we got to work with?
Frame basic lands. So we took some of the best art throughout Magic's history from basic lands, put them in the retro frame.
Show me some sunflower planes.
Fantastic. So
anything from Mirage.
These basic
lands.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, this is
John Avon.
This one's top tier. The lightning bolt planes is one of my favorite. Okay. These lands look sick. These lands look sick.
Next up.
Island.
Got, of course, the Alpha Island from Mark Poole.
Okay, I appreciate the lightning
rights work on the right.
Okay, those are fine. Those are fine.
Next up.
Ooh, I love that swamp. That tree. That tree right there. Oh, so good.
And then
good choice.
Mountains.
The Mirage.
John Avon Mountain.
Favorite that is my favorite basic mountain. I love it. Just looks so cool. John Avon's so good at making basic lands.
And the Forests, another John
also
Avon
good choices.
There, yes.
Urza Saga and what is it? What set was this from originally? I like the sun coming through.
On the right there. So,
those are legit
every pack will
choices.
Come with one of these retro frame lands.
I like that. No, those are good. Good choices.
I want to talk about some cool rares. So here's what we're going to do.
Show us, Blake. Turn that knob. Turn the mythic knob.
Mythic rares.
Turn the mythic knob, Blake.
And then we're going to go through the draft archetypes.
Turn the mythic knob.
We're going to talk about all 10 draft archetypes. And we're going to show off a bunch of cards, including rares and commons and uncommons from each of the
those lands do look legit sweet.
And then we'll finish things off with just a long list of mythics. We've also have some cool rares in there and some nostalgia plays.
Twist it.
But that's kind of the order of operations here. If you're here for previews, we will have plenty of them. Okay, let's start with one I already saw chat asking for.
Yeah.
Sylvan Library is coming back. So there you
Sylvan
have
Library.
In the main, the retro frame, and the borderless version.
I don't know about the retro.
The
retro looks sharp.
Pool.
I mean, I guess the border looks
will
good.
Be in this set as a
Mythic
rare.
At Mythic.
And Sylvan Library's had a couple reprintings before, but one of the cool things about Dominaria Remastered is that it does take some cards that have never been reprinted before.
Got bumped.
So we saw that when we
bumped.
revealed the set with something like a Borea.
Eternal Masters, it was rare.
I think this next one is going to
Vintage
be
Masters.
a favorite reprint as well.
Rare.
Test of Endurance.
I mean,
getting its first reprint, so it comes with new art.
Yes, against the odds time.
The retro.
Wow, Test of Endurance is actually $18 now. So library $50, test 18-ish. Never been reprinted. The art looks, I love that art. That art looks really good.
Coming up.
Mythic, yeah.
But we also have some cycles to talk through. So,
but maybe that's good. Maybe we want the bad cards at Mythic, so then the good cards will be at rare. Twist the rare knob.
So the enemy check lands are returning. These were printed in Dominaria. Not originally, but they were printed there. So we've got all kinds
we've
got all 5 versions here. The bit I'm excited about is these are coming in the retro frame as well.
Okay. All right, you got me a little bit now.
Harbor,
you got me a little bit.
So
they're not fetch lands. They're not fetch lands. They're much cheaper than that. But the old border thing is actually pretty nice. They're like $5-ish.
That has not been reprinted in a long time.
Hopefully this brings the price down for budget decks.
The original Tri-Lands. The layers. So these were reprinted.
Does anyone still play these? Does anyone still play the layers? Like the old tricolor bounce lands from Plane Shift? I have not seen anyone play these in a really long time. They're good for limited. They're fine fixing for limited. They're not supposed to be expensive, but I don't think anyone even in Commander plays them anymore, right? They're just like not good enough. I don't know about worst land cycle, but not a great one anymore.
In a very long time.
And they're an old border. Twist the old border knob, Blake.
Come back. All right.
Oh, no old border.
Let's go through some draft archetypes. First up, we're going to look at black-green mid-range. So we've got Chainer's Edict. Oversold Cemeteries making its way back with some new art. Urborg Uprising.
Oversold Cemeteries legit. Although didn't that just get printed in Jumpstart?
Powerhouse Spiritmonger as an uncommon.
Yeah, Spiritmonger uncommon.
This draft archetype is all about getting value out of each
Back in the day,
card.
Spiritmonger was this was the Elder Gargaroth or whatever. This card was so far. I was just doing that creature video about the best creatures from each year. Like, that's so huge. Like, Spiritmonger being uncommon, that would blow people's minds in like 1996. That was like the biggest, baddest, oh my god, look at this thing creature. And now it's an uncommon.
On the borderless treatment on the far
right. Yeah, it was. It was in Rock and His Millions. It was part of the rock deck, the original rock deck.
Next up, not backwards.
Oversold Cemetery that's like $10.
Cemetery. This is a favorite of mine as well.
I feel like Oversold Cemetery is one that I should play more in Commander.
This should be in a lot more.
Chainer's Edict, that matters for Pauper primarily,
so
right?
A retro frame with the.
There's still one card left to be spoiled for Explorer. Someone said it was Mana Confluence, but I haven't actually seen confirmation of that. But I think there's supposed to be 25 cards, so we might be one short.
Oh, Deadwood Treefolk.
Okay. I mean, Deadwood Treefolk's fine. Drew Tucker is one of my favorite Magic artists. I can't believe that's an uncommon.
Retro frame.
Again, I can't believe it's an uncommon.
To an uncommon from its original printing.
Twisted the uncommon knob.
Yeah, that card back in the day was the card.
I mean, looking good so far.
Archetype The Rock, the black-green, gets its, well, not from Spiritmonger. It was a different card.
Spiritmonger was in the deck there, Blake. You're right.
Sort of the spiritual father of the black-green rock archetype.
It was in the deck.
All right. Next archetype.
Nykthos is officially spoiled.
Black, red, zombies and goblins, tied together by that uncommon on the far right there. Drow News Crusade, which says all goblins are black and are zombies, in addition to their other creature types.
Okay.
A lot of hits here from the past. Undead Gladiator.
This was a rare.
And
this was a
card to
rare.
return it to your hand. You've got Dedapult.
Drano's Crusade's kind of cool.
Incinerator,
that might be sweet to mill the
Marshal,
commander deck around.
Ashlick Mons from...
No real value here, though.
Era. And then we've got
knobs.
For some of these. So
this is a paper set. This is a paper set. It is. It's releasing the beginning of January. Undead Gladiator is a cool card. Yeah, I gotta see the Gem Palmer up close. It didn't look that great. We need a knob emote.
Gem Palm Incinerator.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't look that bad, right? Let's see. Where's the original? Let's compare.
Treatment so that your goblins can...
How does it compare to the original?
Mog War Marshal.
Gem Palm Incinerator.
Just getting goblins out there.
The original art isn't... I mean, it's fine. It's a goblin, but...
Mon, so relatively...
I don't know about that Mon's art.
The goblin arsenal.
That doesn't even really look like a goblin to me. The helmet, like there's too much gear on Fashalik, I think.
News Crusade.
Now I kind of want to build a commander deck around this. Goblins and zombies. Yeah, this is Dominaria Remastered. It's an all reprint set, though. So no new cards, just reprints. But hopefully, we've seen Sylvan Library so far. Hey, Young Dango, welcome. We were talking about new Magic cards. Blue, thank you for the raid so much. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Raiders.
A Venamancer was a highlight for me.
Oh, Wildgrowth. Is Wildgrowth expensive?
I thought that card was amazing.
Nature's Lure is good.
It's fine. It's
Stroke
a good limited card.
Ovinomancer's got to be... Okay, chat. As they're talking about these cards, explain Ovinomancer to me.
That can cast things like
I have never understood why anyone would play Ovinomancer. I think I saw someone do it in Commander once. Ovinomancer. Let me turn this down.
We're already gushing over Wild Growth. We've got some variations on that. Let's look at the alternate versions of this.
Okay, Stroke of Genius. Why would anyone play this card? 3 mana, 0/1. When it comes into play, bounce 3 basic lands you control to its owner's hand, or sacrifice it, and then you can tap it and bounce it back to your hand to bury target creature and put a sheep token into play under their control that's a 0/1. You gotta bounce 3 lands. And then it's gotta untap. And then you tap it to destroy a creature and give someone a go. And then it bounces back to your hand. So if you want to play it again, you gotta bounce 3 more lands. I don't get it. I don't understand. Combos with haste. You still gotta bounce 3 lands. I don't think turning the haste knob is gonna save Ovinomancer.
Green white Threshold.
Divine Sacrament.
This one's pretty straightforward. Get 7 cards in your graveyard
yes.
and turn on all your
best flavor text. Werebear returns. He exercises his right to bear arms. I miss some of the old horrible puns. in flavor text. That one, Werebear is like go as far as just like bad flavor text puns.
On the left, which of this sextuplet.
Fastbond makes sense. I can see that. Ovinomancer Fastbond combo. Where's Divine Sacrament from? I don't really...
Retroframe for Divine Sacrament. White.
It was originally from Odyssey. I see. $2.42, so not super expensive.
Next up, red, green.
Ooh, Grim Lavamancer.
Some of my favorite art is on one.
Grim Lavamancer returns. Lightning Rev.
So this archetype is all about.
I will say, if you've never gotten a chance to play with these cards in Limited, one of my favorite they had this archetype in Vintage Masters on Magic Online with Lightning Refs and Astral Slides and all the cycling cards, very similar to this. It is so much fun to draft. So hopefully they have drafts available somewhere, because some of these archetypes look really fun for Limited.
And then Break Asunder is...
I mean, so we're going through the draft archetypes now. We're not seeing much value, but remember, it's a full set. These are the draft archetypes. Hopefully, once they get through these draft archetypes, they will go back... Ooh, what do you think of this art?
The borderless version on the right.
What do you think of the borderless Grim Lavamancer?
I'm not even a huge red player or Grim Lavamancer.
I haven't seen anyone play Grim Lavamancer in a long time, but that art is...
by Paulo Parente
that art is pretty sweet.
Absolutely gorgeous. There is.
Hello from South Africa. Finally managed to pop into your stream. Unsure if you saw the video I clipped of you. Hope you get a chuckle out of it. Oh no, where's your clip video? I'm sure I'll get a chuckle out of it, but I haven't seen it.
Red, white, aura.
Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Enlightened Tutor.
So this
Enlightened Tutor
is all about stacking auras.
That's big. That's big. That's big. That's a big one. At Rare, they did not bump it to Mythic. 54 bucks. And I think that means the cycle's likely, right? Like, that's a legit reprint. That's a $50 much-needed Commander staple coming back at Rare. I'm hoping this means Vamp Tutor shows up as well. Mystical Tutor, Worldly Tutor, Gamble, I guess. No one cares about Gamble, but that's pretty sweet art. Okay. That's the best reprint we've seen so far. They turned the reprint knob to 11 for that one. Jeremy, welcome to the Fishbowl. Yeah, early stream so we can watch spoilers, and then I got to do a spoiler video. Although we might, I think, after we...
all right, let's see what comes next.
After we see
the Thran Golem. It's a nice little touch.
They're focusing on some weird cards here, like Thran Golem. No one cares, Blake.
All right.
No one cares.
Tiana, Ship's Caretaker.
Oh, so Tiana. One of the That's how you say that.
Legends from Dominaria, and it's just a retro frame treatment here.
RFK, Enlightened Tutor, Force of Will, and the same as that. Yeah, it's cool to see the old artists coming back. Arcanus.
Way too much of.
I used to play that card in way too many Commander decks. It says draw 3 cards.
Circular Logic.
It says draw 3.
You build up your graveyard, counter a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, Recoil's like limited all-star.
Recoil,
IPA draft.
Which are all great removal spells, and of course
one of my favorite formats.
Just about the best thing you can do with
Faceless Butchers, not bad for limited.
So
Circular Logic, Madness coming back. I wonder if Blue-Green Madness is also in the set. Yeah, that's why I watch these streams. just so I can learn how to pronounce things. Actually, I learned the right way to pronounce things, so then I can come up with entertaining wrong ways to pronounce them. I don't want to accidentally pronounce. Oh, yes! Oh, this set's going to be so much fun to draft. There's the Mystical Tutor. Oh, cycling and draft. This is going to be such a sweet limited format. The thing that bothers me with sets like this is they cost so much. They're going to make this great limited format with all these super awesome archetypes, but then they're not going to print enough of it, are they? Like, that's what's going to happen, and it's going to be too hard for people to draft. Oh, if you're going to do these cool archetypes, you got to make sure people can draft it. I hope they print enough. I really hope they print enough.
Is a pretty sweet card to try to draft around.
That's new High Tide art, right?
Archetype in here. Blue-Red Storm is a cube favorite. And it's going to be pretty sweet to try to pull this off in Dominaria Remastered draft. But it is the blue-red.
Mystical Tutor, $20-ish at the moment.
Variants of these. First up, we have Empty the Warrens.
That's good. That's good empty art. I like it.
For Empty the Warrens.
They must be doing the whole cycle.
Next up.
Will this be on Arena?
Yep. There's more Richard
I don't believe so. Oh, more RKF art.
And
so good.
Treatment with Mystical Tutor.
Although I kind of wish the Richard Kane Ferguson art was in the old border, but.
And then High Tide. Get your fancy version.
The High Tide art makes more sense than the original. This one, not so much. Oh, I guess those are pathways it's flooding? Okay, I guess it still makes sense. This is pretty sweet High Tide art, though. I think we're getting RKF art for all the tutors. We'll see. So far.
All right. Next up is an archetype we're calling
White Black Pay Life.
This combines effects that gain life with
Flash Reaver is looking kind of epic.
Fantastic.
Well, so what do you think? What do you think so far about this set? So far, we're not seeing them. I mean, they're doing the draft archetypes, so it's probably not fair to say we're not seeing a ton of value. Although, so far, what have we seen? The tutors, those are good, and those are rare. We saw Sylvan Library at Mythic. We saw Test of Endurance at Mythic. Oh, this is going to be such a sweet. Oh, draft is going to be amazing. I wonder if did they announce if this is coming to digital at all? Could you imagine if this was on Arena? Could you imagine if you could do Phantom drafts even? I know a lot of these cards, I guess they go into Historic on Arena, but could you imagine, like, even if you could just Phantom draft it? I'm hoping it comes to Magic Online, like, so we can draft it on there. The draft format just looks so good. Ooh, is this first time common for Spirit Link? Yeah, always important to keep an eye out for the shakeup of Pauper from the downgrades. Also, Gerard's Verdict, that used to be a legit legacy card. 2 mana discard 2.
Retro frame treatment.
Gain a bit of life.
With the Kev Walker art.
All right, Spirit Link.
Next up.
Chainer.
Oh,
look at that. Look at that knob.
Gets the retro frame. And then
Chainer is really
you see this
is really twisting
in this set.
Twisting the knob there.
Get these zoom in action poses. We're going to see more of these later on.
I drafted a Dominaria theme.
Of Chainer Dimension.
Yeah, the art's pretty sweet. I'm super hyped for this set. I want to see some more high-end stuff just for reprint purposes, but I love Gerard's Verdict. Love it. This is one that I think needs to be in Modern. I'm surprised it hasn't been added to Modern. This was Legacy playable like a decade ago.
Favorite archetype of mine.
Yes.
White Blink.
Wait. Floodgate. They reprinted Floodgate. And Denizen of the Deep.
So instead, we have things like Momentary Blink, White Mane Lion, Denizen of the Deep, Floodgate. And if you've never blinked a Floodgate, you have not lived. Manowar and Sawtooth Loon, who is kind of like a Mold Drifter because
Sawtooth Loon is sweet. I don't know what to make of this. White Blink, the Blink archetype is sweet, but
for the blue-white
what is going? Denizen of the Deep is your payoff.
Way too much of.
Why would you? Why would you want to blink Denizen of the Deep? Why would you want to blink Denizen? Isn't blinking Denizen of the Deep? I love White Mane Lion. White Mane Lion's so good. Hopefully there's Shrieking Drake, too.
Special visits of Denizen of the Deep. This one makes me chuckle a little bit. This definitely feels old school.
It's so
got
bad.
That old Anson Maddox art.
So bad.
And then
the art on this does
look
sweet,
borderless version, which is amazing. Pick one up for your Serpent's Commander deck. And then
I guess
Loon,
returning all of the stuff to your hand is kind of like blinking.
But does a lot of cool things in the Blink archetype.
Okay. That looks fun. I do like Loon. Loon is a cool card. I'm glad to see some of these cards getting highlighted.
We have other previews. So
show us the good stuff,
Blake.
Mythics.
We've shown off some rares as part of the archetypes, but I want to show us the good stuff, a couple exciting rares and maybe an uncommon or two. And then, of course, it wouldn't be a Dominaria Remastered set without some of the OGs. So let's kick things off with this section with Entomb.
Entomb it rare.
Entomb it rare.
That's good. That's good.
Seems like a waste, right? Like, why would you want to put a card in your graveyard? That doesn't make any sense.
Entomb has still got to be worth something,
Spencer
right?
Picks up
$34
version of Entomb.
That is some gross art, too.
Incredible art
actually, that looks like the deer pond.
Oh, don't worry about that one.
Replace this hand with a deer's head, and I swear this was like the last 2 weeks of my life dealing with that deer in the pond. Overmancer.
Blue mages have got you down. The next
Overmancer. Basically the original Veil of Summer in red.
Including in some.
Never been reprinted. Actually, like $10 because it's never been reprinted.
Next up is one I'm personally very excited for.
Savine's Reclamation.
This is
how is that from Dominaria?
Really
was Commander 2019 on Dominaria?
Gets its retro frame treatment with the gravestone in the upper left.
Looks really good with old border. These are hits. These are hits.
3 or less from your graveyard to the battle.
Savine's Reclamation's a card you should probably play more in Commander.
Do it again. Really powerful rare there. First reprinting for Savine's Reclamation, I believe, and it gets the retro frame treatment.
Yeah, looking good.
Next up, this is just an uncommon, but I love Fire and Ice. It's been reprinted a bunch.
Okay, thanks, Blake.
But certainly a welcome addition to
it's kind of the ice part kind of looks like a little
really
ice
cool card.
knob, actually.
And so I put it here because you know what? It's a cool card. And then next in this section, before we get to some of the OGs, Exploration is coming back as a rare with new art from Lindsay Look.
Ooh.
Land on each
Okay.
Exploration
that's pretty good.
Very, very powerful card in older formats, in Commander.
Exploration. Yeah, legacy playable. Key piece of the lands deck. Exploration, $25-ish. So there's some value in here.
In basically every one.
I'm regretting not buying a box now.
And you know what? One of my Canadian Highlander
they were like 150-ish on Amazon.
All right, so next, before we get to all the mythics, we're going to get to a bunch of mythics in a sec.
Okay, yeah, show us some mythics,
Remastered
Blake.
really is a celebration of 30 years of Dominaria, and as such...
Wizards really got to stop saying things are a celebration of 30 years. Has that worked once for them so far? I can't believe they keep going back to that.
Very, very first day. So, of course...
Yeah, I should have ordered mine when they were down at that price.
Giant Spider, the GOAT, one of the most reprinted cards of all time.
30, we're celebrating 30 years.
It had the record for being printed in the most consecutive core sets, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay, Giant Spider. Yeah.
It has to be here. It's a common.
That was a card that has the record for being printed into Standard the longest period of time, I believe. It was in Standard from like Alpha till M15 or something.
Of mine, Royal Assassin, Scourge of limited formats everywhere. Also,
that's it. Royal Assassin's a classic. Not worth anything anymore, but that is definitely an iconic classic card.
We'll be able to tap something down with Icy Manipulator.
That looks really good.
Royal Assassin.
Oh, and there's going to be Icy Manipulator too. Combo.
Which is all
this set looks sweet. This set looks so sweet.
All right. Next up, a card that's been, it's been outmoded a little bit, but it holds a place near
basically the original Ragavan.
Savannah Lions.
the stupid cat.
Savannah Lions was the original, most efficient creature ever.
I don't know about the art, though.
We've gotten some 2/1s for one.
I mean, there's nothing.
Have abilities now, and so
there's nothing wrong with that art, but
it's a common.
But I don't know. The original pouncing art. I think
speaking of cards we couldn't leave out.
Look at that.
Shivan Dragon.
It's like jumping. It's like jumping right at you. Uncommon.
Donato.
Still at rare.
Donato did the
I feel like
Shivan
we've
Dragon
reached...
that has been the most reprinted art. And then prior to that, of course, was the classic Melissa Benson art.
I feel like we've reached the point where Shivan Dragon could be an uncommon.
Knocks it out of the park again. So the classic Shivan Dragon.
What about the Shivan Dragon art?
And retro frame.
Oh, look at that. Original Magic art was so sweet. Look at that dragon. Is that a foot? Is that a knob?
Okay.
I don't even know.
It's quite a bit of nostalgia there. We're going to keep going with some nostalgia, but we're going to do it with the Mythics. So,
yeah, I guess it would be very good
I'm going to show,
in Limited.
I believe this is all the rest of the Mythics.
The rest of the Mythics.
The rest of today, you can follow Wizards' social media platforms, and we will have additional previews. And then tomorrow is the full card image gallery.
Blake,
we got some saucy stuff coming up here. Let's kick things off. I said there'd be more tutors with Richard Kane Ferguson art. I wasn't just talking about Mystical Tutor. Let's take a look at Vampiric Tutor.
Oh.
Now, of course, it's got that Raymond Swanlin art on the left, but Richard Kane Ferguson.
Wait, weren't the other ones rares? Are they splitting the cycle between? I mean, the art's epic.
And then the borderless
wasn't. I swear.
On the right.
I swear the other ones were rares, weren't they? Wasn't Enlightened Tutor a rare? Huh.
With his distinctive style. Love Richard Kane Ferguson.
They split it. They did. So some are mythic and some are rare.
Next up is another classic that gets some new art on the extended version. We've got Gauntlet of Power. Especially powerful in single color decks where you double your mana, make
a staple of monocolored commander decks.
The extended version.
It was in Time Spiral Remastered
right
though.
There is art by Ron Spears.
this tie dye hand art.
It could be red, it could be green, it could be blue, it could be anything.
So good. I would wear that sleeve.
Updated art there with extended for
the art looks,
Power.
The art looks sweet.
If you're old school like me, that retro frame in the middle is going to make a lot of people happy. All right, next up, a card. So again, this is what I love about this set, cards that have not gotten reprintings before. So Hunting Grounds, or that Threshold archetype.
Hunting Grounds is a cool card. I don't know if I've ever seen one play it, though. There are 7 or more
cards in your graveyard. Hunting Grounds has whenever an opponent casts a spell,
here's the original art, by the way.
Card from your hand into the battlefield. Just put it in.
Look at those goggles.
So, we get the retro frame there in the middle.
That's a wolf with wings, I'm pretty sure, that looks like.
And then Darren Bader did the extended
The new art looks good too, though.
On the right. Yeah, people asking, what is this card? That's because it has not been reprinted in a very long time.
It's been like 20 years since this card has been around. I feel like this should be played. I think this will be played more in Commander. I think a lot of people just did not know it existed.
Ooh. Kamal, Fist of Krosa, a classic here.
Build your own Armageddon.
Has an
Turn your opponent's lands into creatures and then wrath them all away.
Kamal
is an unusually scary commander. Yeah, because you know someone's going to try to blow up your lands.
Starting in the Odyssey era.
This is one.
So glad to see Kamal back.
This is one I think should be mythic for limited. I think that would probably
not been reprinted in a very long time. And
probably be pretty strong at rare and
starter focus sets, which is Last Chance.
They're printing all these expensive.
Another in the take an extra turn, lose at the end of that.
So Last Chance, this is going to be.
So we get new art from Joshua Raphael.
This is so deceptive, though. So Last Chance, one of those red extra turn lose the game spells. The thing is, what was the one? Warrior's Oath. Remember Warrior's Oath that came in Double Masters and was like a $500 card? It is now $5. $5. Before it was reprinted, the Portal version was literally $500. So even though, Legacy Weapon, even though Last Chance is expensive now, expect that to drop a ton. Do not go out and buy that for $20 or $25 pre-sale. It's going to be like $5. It's going to be so cheap.
The Legacy Weapon.
No, it's not a bad thing. Just don't go and buy them during pre-sales because you know they're going to list them for like $30 or something. So just don't fall into that trap. Just wait like another couple of months and you can get them. You can get them super cheap.
Real tightly. What I love about this is we see Yawgmoth here.
Legacy Weapon. The art is cool.
For lack of a better term, fire.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone play Legacy Weapon. I think I tried it in Commander a couple times in 5-color decks, but it's just so slow. It is really powerful if you can get it going.
Next up, one of the more recent entrants from the Mythic sheet, Lyra Dawnbringer.
Okay.
We were talking about this set, this card before the set, and that.
I kind of like this art better than the original art.
Really going to pop in foil with the stained glass.
The shield's looking,
Ron art as well.
The shield looks sweet.
Donato put some more stained glass in the background to really.
But we could use a Death Cloud reprinting.
It's got the retro frame.
Lyra's worth a few bucks, right?
Lyra has not received. And then
Lyra Dawnbringer coming in at.
All right, next up is
15, 14.
A classic.
A card that will make the table hate you in Commander.
That gets the retro frame treatment.
It is pretty good defense.
Created the art.
Oh wow.
The original art.
And No Mercy is actually $40. Okay, that's a high value reprint.
Right is Ron Spencer.
Wow, that art is actually pretty sweet, pretty epic. Wow, looks really good. Yeah, that's very much a crim card in Commander. You just stick it down and no one's going to attack you because their stuff's going to get blown up.
Next, Nut Collector. Nut Collector, 6 mana, human druid. You get to make a squirrel. So this goes into the Threshold archetype. If you have Threshold, all your squirrels get +2/+2.
Look at how excited he is.
The art on that Adam Rex version on the right, also fantastic.
Yes,
also fantastic.
So
everything
good.
About this card. This card is just a delight for you squirrel fans out there, or your Threshold fans. It doesn't have to be squirrels. Come enjoy a little nut collecting. But also, if you happen to open this, I would definitely recommend going into the Threshold archetype.
Blake. Okay.
Yeah,
I think
really
it's worth something, right? $10. $10. The art's so good.
In the set, World Gorger Dragon.
Wow, that is a Arcade Post coming through with
combo
just a
for as long
wow.
as
That's the
Anime
world.
Dead and World Gorger Dragon
That art is
been around
so
together.
good.
You get that retro frame
so
in the middle. But that
wow,
Arcade Post
that
art
is just a stunning, amazing piece of art.
The entire Dominaria globe is just so fantastic.
Wow, that is so good.
Extended art version.
Yeah, this might be some of the best art from the year. Not just from the
really
set, but like, wow, that is just an amazing... Look how good that card looks.
All right, next up, another classic, Sarah Avatar.
They love reprinting this card.
Sarah Avatar.
I feel like Sarah Avatar gets reprinted all the time, but I've never seen anyone play it.
Each equal to your life total.
It's like a 75-cent mythic at this point. It always comes back. Who plays this? Do any of you play Sarah's Avatar? Like, even if you're a life gain deck? Like, I'm curious, does anyone play this card?
A couple of heavy hitters coming up next.
Heavy hitter.
And this is some of that legendary art I was talking about. So let's take a look at Urza, Lord High Artificer.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Urza's second retro frame printing.
Urza's still pretty expensive.
But Greg Staples also reimagines the art for that borderless version on the right. An action close-up shot of Urza doing his thing with
I think I like the original art better. Urza, with a huge army behind him.
Lord High Artificer.
I don't know about the close-ups.
Fantastic reprint.
I mean, that's some serious value, though.
Really
$50 mythic.
For that extended version on the right.
And
next up, can't have Urza if you don't have Yawgmoth. So we're also bringing back Yawgmoth.
So MH2 is doing its work.
So we get the retro frame in the middle again.
Or I guess original
retro
Modern Horizons. Yawgmoth's such a sweet card.
Sort of
I love this card. Probably my favorite card from original Modern Horizons. This close-up kind of works because you can see just how disturbing Yawgmoth is, like operating on this poor person. Also another 40-ish dollar mythic.
Coming back.
Yeah, he does look uglier here, doesn't he?
Old border versions in a previous set, but
this set looks great.
Popular, so we brought them back and also gave them that.
These reprints should help. They should help with the prices for Modern.
All right,
for sure.
One more mythic.
One more.
I saved it for last because it has a token with it, and there are tokens in this set. We're not showing them off here. Those will be available tomorrow.
Turn that token knob.
But personal favorite of mine. Has a token, Dark Depths.
The
old
border Dark Depths
in the middle there.
Ooh, okay. That's another good one.
There's just something spooky about that Dark Depths art from Rob Alexander.
Yeah, look at
on
this.
the right where
you
most
can
of
hardly even see it. Like it's just like the empty,
the
emptiness
just horrifies me. And
the perspective is really sweet. Yeah, we need more Merit tokens. I mean, another like $18.
Yes, this token will come.
Oh, yeah, it really is. That art's so good. Definitely credit to Wizards for bringing back all these old artists to make such amazing pieces of art.
All of the cards that I have to share with you.
That's
now, of course, our various social media outlets will be sharing more today. And then the full card image gallery will be going up tomorrow on dailymtg.com. There's still a lot of the set left to go. I showed off, 6 exemplars for each of the draft archetypes. We showed off some lands. We showed off all the mythics.
All the mythics.
We only showed off some of the rares. There's still a good chunk of rares left to go, and those are going to be shown off between today and tomorrow. So we do have a little bit of time for questions here. So first, when does this release? This releases.
We can skip the questions. This set looks really solid, right? So first off, 2 questions for you, chat. And we'll see if we can sneak in another game. I wouldn't mind finishing this league before I run 2 spoilers. We'll see how fast these games go. Maybe we can finish the league. Feel free if you want to hear the Q&A, you can watch it on Watchy's stream, but spoilers are over. So, question number 1. What do you think of this set? Will you see the clip I posted on your Twitter after the stream? Can you post it in here, Decrepit? Can you just stick the link in chat and I'll look at it right now? I mean, I will also try to look at it on Twitter after, but you can stick the link in the chat if you want to. I mean, it looks sweet. Like, it seems like Yeah, the set has a ton of good reprints. We saw Urza, we saw Yawgmoth, we saw the Tutors, so we saw Sylvan Library. So it seems like there's a lot of value there. Enough value that this is going to give reprints that people need for Commander, for Modern, which is what we want. It also has some really sweet art. Let me see if we have a page up on the site yet. Do we have a Dominaria United page? Hey, okay, we do. So, looking at this just value-wise, high value reprint, and then a bunch of good like Hunting Grounds is like $15. Vampiric Tutor probably should have been rare like the rest of the tutors, but still that's like a $50 reprint. Mystical Tutors like $20, Explorations like $15, Enlightened Tutors super expensive, Oversoul Cemetery, Sylvan Library is still super expensive. So Urza's Incubator somehow is like a $50 card even though no one plays it. So the value's there. Just looking at this, the value's there. We have a lot of, and that's not even including, like, we already saw Force of Will was released a long time ago in one of the early sneak peek spoilers. We already saw Birds of Paradise with the original art, like a $10 card. So just the set itself, it looks really good. And that doesn't even include all the really sweet art that we've seen. Like, there's a lot of really cool art. I love the theme of bringing back old Magic artists that we haven't seen much in a long time. The RKF art, for example, just these artists that are iconic from the early years of Magic that haven't been making Magic cards. So I really, really love that. The other thing I want to ask you about, chat, what do you think about this style of spoilers? Rather than, okay, take any normal set where it's like a week or maybe 2 weeks of spoilers. It used to be sometimes 2 weeks. It's been more like a week or 10 days lately. So a small drip, a little bit each day. What do you think about, hey, here's the set, essentially. In 1 day, in 2 days, we're going to have the full set tomorrow. In 2 days, we're just going to dump it all out there. Here it is. Here's the cool art. We did a stream. We're going to post it on our social media. Oh, the basics are stunning. Stunning. The basics are stunning. I kind of like it. I will say I don't think I'd want this for every set. Like when we go to Phyrexia and we're talking about cards that are going to have impact on Standard and cards that are going to have impact on Modern and Commander, with a set like that, the like 4 premier Standard sets a year, I'm pretty fine with Wizards doing the old school, spend a week dripping out the spoilers. I think it's worth it to have time to think through them. But with stuff like this, with like reprint sets, just dump it. I think this is a great way to do it. Like, just dump it all out there. Let people see it. Let people decide if they want it. Yeah, opponent's trying to go infinite here with Burgee, Girding Angus, Storm, I think. Llanowar Elves. I mean, as long as we keep the combo pieces off the battlefield, we should be fine. Without the combo pieces, which is Steamkin, Burgee, and then Grinning Angus, our opponent's deck doesn't do a ton. And we can just snipe, actually, we can snipe the Steamkin. We could also just blast zone away the elves. Maybe we don't really care about the elves. Yeah, let's just portable hole. So I don't know, my hype level, I was already hyped for this set. I really love Time Spiral Remastered, and this seems like it's going to be maybe even better. One of the issues with Time Spiral Remastered is you only had one set. To actually work with. This you can go through the history of Magic. The only problem with Blast Zone next turn is now we have a portable hole that we would blast away. Can I send you a message? It's getting lost a bit in chat. Ooh, let me. You can try to. Although my messages on here are pretty hit or miss. Oh, I see it, Decrepit. I found it. What did? Oh no! Did I do something horrible? Am I gonna get in trouble? What did I do? Wow! All right, our opponent's passivity. The fact that they're not attacking us is is working in our favor.
Here's a fun fact.
That's pretty good. Eventually I did just give up. Eventually. I don't know, is passivity? It's just got to be passivity, right? It's got to be passivity. The act of being a pacifist. Passivity. Is that the correct? It's got to be. Passivity. But yeah, I did. Eventually I was just like, okay, this isn't happening. I can try to say this 10 more times and it's not going to happen. The Passivity Ocean. Have you thoughts on the crop of new secret layers? Yes. I think a couple of them in specific are likely worth buying if you need the cards. Well, that's unfortunate. If you need the cards, the Blightsteel Transformer drop has a ton of value. Blightsteel itself is really expensive, and the other cards in the drop are also expensive. So Blightsteel Transformer drop, I think, is probably the best buy, or one of them. Oh, that's a good draw. So I would lean towards buying that one. Let's get rid of this Risen Reef. Will you just die, opponent? We've picked apart all your combo pieces. Will you stop trying to stay alive? They've gained so much life with this Innkeeper that they're not super close to being dead, even after all this. Hit you down to 12. Thoughts on Nykthos coming to Arena? There's also, what was the other one? There was one other bundle. That seemed to be good value. Oh, the cereal one is actually pretty good value because of Ulamog. I feel like there was one more though, but I can't think of what it was. But yeah, the Blightsteel one is the biggest winner, I think. Also, some people pointed this out. I guess it doesn't actually matter. But there's no big discounts this time around. So keep that in mind. A lot of times there is a big discount if you buy the entire bundle. This time, rather than getting a discount for buying the entire bundle, you're getting the promo Scarab God DJ promo, whatever thing. So keep that in mind. If you want the Scarab God, I'm sure it'll be worth something. So it is a bonus, I guess, for getting all of them. But I think that without getting a big discount, it's probably correct just to snag the ones that you want rather than spending $350 or whatever to get the whole thing. So many mana dorks. So much life. Opponent's not making any meaningful progress in this game, but boy, are they refusing to die peacefully. All right, we'll play a land. We'll go to combat. We'll do some attacking. Swing and swing. Opponent back up to 16. I mean, opponent's nowhere near winning. They don't have like any combo pieces, but they are just refusing to die because of this Innkeeper. I guess if they find Ingus. Okay, opponent scoops it up. If they found Ingus, they could draw a bunch of cards, which would have been a problem. So what secret layers are y'all buying this time around? Are you buying any of them? Well, Archon seems really good. That just shuts down our opponent's combo. Although, really, I think our game plan is essentially doing what we did there. Like, our best bet is just kill all your stuff, really. If we just keep our opponent from keeping combo pieces on the battlefield, they're going to have a hard time winning. RG for the 8th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup G for you. Hey, Seth, a friend is a paper brew and constantly has cards strewn about his desk. Do you know of any tools that could help him as a brewer better organize the chaos of making new decks? I am the worst person to ask that question. I'm sitting in my office right now. There's a closet across from me over here. Across from me, this closet, it is just, Magic cards are literally gushing out of it. Like, the door's a little open and cards are falling out and like strewn on the floor, and there's some boxes up on the shelf. You do not want my organizational advice. No, No. I will help you with anything I can, but organizing my Magic cards or really anything, that is not my strong suit. But I'm sure chat might have some ideas. Chat, how do you help someone organize their Magic cards? About it. Huh. Innkeeper. All right. Boo and Hiss gets in, hits us. More life gain. Sand is a lot less removally than our... Well, okay, there's a portable hole, but we're just going to pass. No one plays around a Containment Priest. Now I have the magic. Yeah, I guess that would be a way around it, wouldn't it? About it. Oh, we gotta wait. You know they're gonna go for a Coco. Maybe Containment Priest is just like legit busted. So now we can portable hole to get rid of the Mystic. Our opponent's gonna Coco, and we're just going to blow them out. Oh, they're not gonna Coco. Oh no. Oh, they don't have Coco? Well, I mean, that's fine. Them not having Coco is also good. All right, I should probably get back to work. Have a good stream, Seth. Hey, see you, Dragon Archmage. Have a good work. And yeah, I will. Are we just going to keep waiting? Yeah, let's keep being patient. The stream's going to be wrapping up soon anyway, because I gotta do the spoiler video. Play the land, play Thalia. Maybe we're being too greedy with this Containment Priest. Maybe we should just be running it out. Okay. Our patience has been rewarded. Oh, Containment Priest, so good. It's so good. Here's my organizational idea. You convince your friends to play recursive jumpstart drafts, where you have them draft your collection. Their draft picks become jumpstart packs to play with. Ooh, that is a sweet idea. Boy, Containment Priest has been so good. Containment Priest has been the card that's just like, yeah, our patience was rewarded. Containment Priest has been blowing people out. Llanowar Elves. Sure. Opponent passes. Well, let's do a little poloing, I guess. Elite Spellbinder. Ooh, opponent has the combo for days. Well, that's a problem. Take the Burgie. Go attacking. Ooh, opponent has the combo here, though. Little nervous about our opponent going infinite and blowing us out. What is the card that you feel Pioneer is missing the most from Modern? Oh, their combo keeps improving. Yeah, this might be bad. They might be getting us here. So there's the Risen Reef. We need a colorless land for this Thought Knot, maybe. Another Innkeeper. Ooh, so what is the Modern card missing most from Pioneer? Huh. So I don't want Modern Horizons cards. So it's definitely, oh, that is a pretty awesome draw. Our one of fun of sideboard Archon is going to be absolutely huge here. Go attacking. Yeah, that was a good draw. That was a really good draw. Archon of Emeria, your go opponent. Your go. Silver Fox, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Gritty Genghis triggers the Risen Reef. Path of Exile could be a good one. Emeria? I would love to see Emeria. I mean, if we're just going by my personal... Or Sun Titan? Actually, maybe the Titan Cycle. Mine is probably Primeval Titan, but maybe just the whole Titan Cycle. Well, let's do a little attacking. I mean, we're not going to get comboed as long as we have the Archon. We just don't have this. We're seeing the issues with consistency with not having colored mana. Or not having colorless mana. That's been an issue for this deck. What's your reaction to Nykthos coming to Explore? Do you think it's going to dominate? Yes, but I'm still excited about it. Ooh, that's a good draw for our opponent. Okay, so I think we're in trouble now. Actually, we might be dead now that our opponent drew that. So they get to play the Burgee. Yep. They go. So obnoxious. So we can stop it for a turn, but I don't think that is going to let us... I don't think this is going to be enough to let us win. Bounce the Burgee. Soul Partition. We need to draw Drannith Magistrate. That is the card. So I'm excited because I'm really hyped for... I'm hyped for Mono Black Devotion, and Mono Blue Devotion, and Mono Red Devotion. I'm not hyped for Mono Green Devotion being even better. Like that is something that I don't think is positive for the format, but the rest of it I think is going to be really fun. There's a lot of really cool brews that we can build around Devotion that are not Mono Green Devotion, but what Mono Green Devotion... Yeah, all right. But what Mono Green... Well, now we can't stop them from going infinite. But what Mono Green Devotion is probably going to do at the top of the meta is probably an issue. Like, I think that will potentially be a problem. I mean, Primetime would probably be fine. If you got 6 mana, there are easier ways to get Nykthos out. Primetime's just so busted. I'm never going to be, I don't know. After playing so much Modern, maybe it's fine with no Valakuts or whatever, but all the other Titans I think are fine and fun. Primeval Titan's the only one that gives me pause. But still, I guess, like, play it, and worst case, you got to ban it or something if it's too good. Huh. Double Thalia. Eldrazi Displacer Portable Hole. Not a very good hand. The Thalias do not look great. All right, we'll try it. Although this hand also does not look that great. Although Containment Priest has been our sneaky all-star. Mono Green Destroyer, eh? Ooh, Awake in the Woods. Yeah, I've been wondering why Mono Green has just not really made it in Standard. I guess it's just Black has like so much good removal that it's hard for Green to keep up with. But I mean, that looks sweet to me. Like, got a lot of good green things, got a lot of good threats. It seems like it could work. Ugh, there's the Risen Reeve. Yeah, Mono Blue with Ley Line of Anticipation. Although we're missing Master Waves. That's the big one that we haven't gotten yet. Well, Demolition Field. Get rid of the Risen Reeve. Possible that now that our opponent knows about Containment Priest, we should have just ran it out to have it on the battlefield in case they just like main phase Coco here, or Coco in response to the Thought Knot. Opponent. Hazoret's Monument. Sure. And Elvish Mystic. Well, gonna be close. Loots away a land. Save us. Thought Not Seer. Hopefully. Ooh, Skyclave is good. Yeah, we'll wait until next turn. Let's Thought Not. See what our opponent's got going on in hand. Can we get the win? Fauna Shaman Abrade. Well, we'll take the Abrade. Opponent doesn't have much. Hit you for 2. Can we close out the game? Can we get it? We don't have an Anointed Peacekeeper in the deck. We got Paulo instead. But Anointed Peacekeeper could be good. Do you think that Snapcaster comes to Standard and the Innistrad Return Standard set? So, as far as I'm aware, Innistrad Remastered won't be a Standard set. It's more going to be for, like, Historic and Explore on Magic Arena. So unless I've missed something, I don't think it's going to be standard legal. I do think that Snapcaster, well, I also think that it's going to be the new Innistrad. Am I missing something? Is there an Innistrad product I'm not aware of? I was thinking it was the new, like, Shadows over Innistrad stuff rather than an original Innistrad. But I guess it's possible. I guess it's possible that I'm missing something. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's new Innistrad and not standard legal. That is my current understanding. Oh, do we gotta kill the Fauna Shaman? Yeah, I guess probably. All right, Skyclave. Get rid of Fauna Shaman. Pass the turn. Opponent has one card in hand. They're down to 15. They have one combo piece. They have one combo piece in the Monument, but that's it so far. Opponent. There's the Burgee. Combo piece number 2. If our opponent can find the Ingus here, they actually just go infinite. Opponent. No Ingus yet. Opponent passes. Ooh, Draneth Magistrate. Well, go to combat. Hit you with a Thought Knot Seer. Opponent takes it. Field of Ruin. Oh, we want to flip this Brutal Cathar. Let's just pass. We need this Brutal Cathar to flip. We got to fade this turn. We got to fade this turn, and we should be good. No combo pieces this turn, please. Okay, opponent's going to pass. Sure. We untap. Oh. Oh, what if they have Coco, though? We want to flip it back. I'm worried about getting Coco'd. Oh, go to combat. Do some attacking. We gotta try to close it out. Here we come. Boom and boom. 2 big attacks. Get in there. Hey, thank you, dear Michello. I hope you have a amazing day, whatever you may be doing. Now, let's play Draneth Magistrate. I think they do have Coco. Play Chef It, dudes. Pass the turn. Coco. Oh, they don't have it. All right. Well, it all comes down to this. Opponent. Do they draw it? Do they draw Grinning Ingus? They do. And now they win. Wow. Oh, no. That might have been a punt. It might be that we should have just flashed out the Containment Priest. The thing is, so if we Containment Priest, we run it out, that's 2 spells. So it flips the Brute to get rid of the Burgee. The problem is just getting rid of the Burgee doesn't really save us because they have the Monument. So the only... I mean, it doesn't really save us. It doesn't necessarily save us because our opponent still has the discount. So they're still able to cast this. They will run out of red mana eventually, right? So they don't go fully infinite, but they get to loot a bunch of times to find another combo piece. Yeah. The risk is if we run out the Containment Priest, then they can Coco in response and hit the Grinning Angus. Yeah, I don't know. If we run it out and they Coco in response and hit the Grinning Angus, then we just lose. All right. Well, okay. I guess we're finishing this. We're finishing this league, and then as soon as this ends, I gotta run because oh my god, I have not done spoiler videos yet. When you're at the line at Taco Bell and the person ahead of you is in the tank on what they're gonna order, do you find yourself reflexively muttering, "Opponent"? Yeah, I mean sometimes. Like, come on, opponent. Come on. In my brain the like rope is going down. Like, come on, it's turn 1. It's not that hard. You're getting a soft taco and a quesadilla. Just do it. What are you waiting for? Why are you slow rolling me, Taco Bell opponent? Yeah, the hope is that they would run out of red mana, but they would get to loot several times to find something. But maybe trying to play around trying to play around Coco just wasn't correct there. Maybe we just had to be like, run it out and hope for the best. The YouTube short about the person that counters all the wrong spells was hilarious. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Ooh, hopeful initiate. Okay. Well, this is gonna be interesting. On one hand, we should have the bigger creatures, which is good. On the other hand, our opponent will have Brave the Elements, and we're a mono white deck, which, that could be a problem. That could be a problem. Hey, what's up, Venox? Oh, spoilers! Dominaria Remastered spoilers is the big news of today. Although, Skyclave too. Although, we're also doing a little pioneering. Seeing if we can finish off this Pioneer Taxes league with a win. Opponent gets in, does a little training. Sure. I mean, this Brutal Cathar should be good. Ooh, we haven't seen Duranath Magistrate do anything yet, but we do have the Spellbinder. Well, Brutal Cathar, get rid of the Skyclave, get the token, pass the turn. Opponent untapped. Dominaria Remastered, the newest set to be spoiled, coming out at the beginning of. Oh, hopefully they can't kill the Brutal Cathar. Coming out at the beginning of January. It's a reprint set featuring cards from all throughout the history of the Dominaria plane. Let me see if I can pull it up again. Luminarch Aspirant. And Kytheon. All right, so opponent has almost emptied their hand. One card left. Although their creatures are kind of big. So the set's looking really good so far. I mean, it's got a lot of classic stuff, but even just the high-end stuff, Gauntlet of Power, Lyra are pretty valuable. World Gorger, Dark Depths, Urza, Yawgmoth, a lot of it coming back with new art. So far the set looks really sweet. Surprisingly sweet. Yeah, I know it's coming out in like a month or something. It's the next set. The other big news is Wizards listened. Wizards actually listened. They might not agree fully, but they did listen when we talked about them printing too many sets in too little of time, because they actually straight up addressed it. And I didn't think they were going to, but they did. They actually straight up addressed it. They straight up said, "We've heard you, and we're trying to slow down a little bit, but it's going to take a lot of time." And they pushed back the release of Phyrexia by 1 week. So I appreciate that. I don't think pushing back Phyrexia by 1 week really makes a huge change in the grand scheme of things. But, what is our opponent doing? But I do really appreciate that Wizards actually addressed the pace of things and made a pretty clear sign that they're listening to us. So I can definitely respect that, because I didn't really expect that. Also curious to see well, they went pro white. This is red, isn't it? I believe this is red. Sure. Opponent. Am I wrong? Is this not red? Are we dead? Okay, it definitely is red. All right, sure. We will block your Kytheon. Our opponent is the one who is wrong. We drop to 4 temporarily. However, we get to Wandering Emperor. Wait, what is Brave the Element? Oh, white creatures. Oh my goodness, I'm so dumb. Well, that was definitely a punt. We could have eaten this Mutavault earlier and not taken damage off of it. But this is still fine. Like, we get the full blowout here. Portable Hole. Get rid of the Hopeful Initiate. And then Thalia. And then tick up on the Brute. Hit ya. Then it's gonna flip, and there's no... I don't think there's any coming back from this for our opponent. So we get to flip the Brute again. We get to get rid of the Luminarch Pirate with the Brutal Cathar. Our opponent has 0 cards in hand. And yeah, the black and white. It is clearly black and white, indeed. Maybe that's what threw our opponent off. They did twist a lot of knobs. They twisted all the spoiler knobs. Opponent, what do you got, friend? Mutavault. And goes to combat. And attacks Wandering Emperor. And sure, whatever. We got another one. Wandering Emperor down. I mean, we also have Field of Ruins for days. I don't know how we lose from here, really. Recruitment Officer. I mean, that one's good for our opponent. That is helpful. It can maybe draw our opponent cards. Well, play the Scavenger Grounds. Go to combat. Do some attacking. Hit you for 3. We're going to have a lot of creatures under this Brutal Cathar in a minute. Opponent goes to 13. Brutal Cathar flips around. About it. I believe that Explore Anthology is fully spoiled. We were talking about it earlier today. Oh no, can I find the link again? Oh, here it is. That was the first thing we talked about. Opponent goes to combat. No attacks. Well, let us Demolition Field of Mutavault. Get a land. Yeah, I think the entire anthology is out, and my opinion is it's great. Like, really, really, really solid. I know you can quibble about this or that, like this card doesn't see that much play in Pioneer or whatever, but there are very few cards from this anthology that I think are just straight up not useful in one way or another. Many of them are legit Pioneer cards, and the ones that aren't, I mean, they're fine. There's a couple of like historic Brawl cards or whatever, which I think it's fine. So I think this is way better than the first anthology. So I'm gonna say that is also a win. Yeah, it really is. I mean, the least playable cards, if we look at the anthology, are basically Clever Impersonator. I guess someone mentioned Garuda, which is definitely very fringe. But really, Displacer we're actually playing right now. Eerie Interlude does have uses. Soldier was good. Brave the Elements, our opponent's playing right now. Ethereal Armor, and this is actual Pioneer we're playing. Dispel doesn't really see play anymore. That's mostly been power crap by like Mystical Dispute. So that one doesn't really see play. Sliver Hive Lord, I think that's for historic Brawl, but that definitely doesn't see Pioneer play in any means. And then Kozilek's kind of the same way. I'm glad it exists. Like, I'm happy with them adding. I'm happy with them adding that to Arena. But at the same time, I don't, it doesn't see like a meaningful amount of play, but overall I think it's just very good. We still got a ways until we have full Pioneer on the client, but we're getting closer. I'll hit you. Yeah, this has been rough for our opponent. We've just sort of picked them apart here. Picked them apart. Flip it back around. Eat your recruitment officer. Opponent. If they can ever kill our Brutal Cathar. Oh no, did they top deck an answer to Brutal Cathar? If they kill Brutal Cathar, they get back 3 creatures at this point, which is kind of scary. That would be bad. Oh, opponent scoops it up. All right, one more for the winning record. Nykthos is the biggest one. That is the one that, and also Mutavault. Like, I was looking at, let me see if I can pull this up. I was looking at the most played Pioneer cards in the entire format. And, yeah, we don't really need to change much, do we? We're already just like, maybe we don't change. Thalia's not good. Thalia's the one bad card. Atomic. We need to be able to target our opponent's lands. I mean, maybe Thalia's, maybe it's fine just as a body. You know what? Let's keep 2 of them. Bring in one wedding announcement. But I was looking at the most played Pioneer cards. And if you look at it through the context of that, I believe that Nykthos and Mutavault are, I think, the only 2 missing lands out of the 50 most played in the format. Maybe there's something I missed in here, but I think that means we now have the whole top 50, which essentially covers everything. Like these are all the lands you could need to play top tier Pioneer. Rending Volley, I know it doesn't look like much. That's actually one of the most played cards in Pioneer. That's one of the cards we kind of just glossed over on the list. So that's another big addition. Some of them, like Reflector Mage, doesn't actually show up in the top 50 creatures, but I think that's fine. It's a card that you have played with, and I'm excited about maybe humans getting more flexibility rather than just being mono white. Maybe you can be multicolor. So I think there's a lot of upsides, even to some of the cards that maybe don't obviously jump off the page as being immediately playable. So I think we'll definitely play a lot of Explorer once we get the new set next week. Oh yeah, we don't have Urborg. You're right. That's the one that I missed. So big stuff that's missing if you look at Pioneer. Stuff that we still just really need support for. Let me see. So stuff that we still need support for. Rakdos is in good shape. Nykthos is there for mono green now. Big things we're missing. Delve cards, Treasure Cruise, Temporal Trespass. And I wonder, the Delve mechanic isn't on Arena, right? Like, so far, we don't have any. Opponent said be right back, so hopefully they return soon. We don't have any Delve cards on Arena, do we? Do we have Gurmag? Is Gurmag on there? I don't feel like I've delved anything on Arena. So I wonder if, like, the mechanic itself is keeping Wizards from programming it for some reason. Like, maybe, like, popping up the graveyard to exile the cards. Maybe there's some, like, technical reason that they haven't done it yet. But those are big ones. Treasure Cruise, Temporal Trespass, Dig Through Time. Those are definitely some of the biggest ones that we're missing at this point. Otherwise, we're missing basically the Lotus field deck. Missing the Untappers. In a bunch of pieces to that one, which, I don't know, that deck's, I know. We want full Pioneer. We want full Pioneer on Arena, and I want full Pioneer on Arena, but I wouldn't complain if Lotus Field Combo was like the last tier deck that got added, because it is super obnoxious to play against, and I think they got to make sure that all the hate cards and interactive pieces are on there, because if you don't have the hate cards and interactive pieces, then Lotus Field could be a problematic deck, I think, at the top of the meta. Full Pioneer is a minimum of 5 years away. I mean, I think it's partly dependent on your definition of Full Pioneer. Like what do you consider to be Full Pioneer? Is Full Pioneer literally every single card that you could possibly want to play any brew and against the odds deck? That's probably 5 years away. I would not disagree. So if you're thinking that, like, I want to build around a random against the odds card and have every possible option available, that's a ways away. I think we're not that far away, though, from, like, if you go to the Pioneer metagame page and look at the top, 20 decks, 50 decks, the competitive tournament decks, we're not that far away from having all of those decks be on Arena. So if you want to be like, okay, Pro Tour Pioneer, like the top tier decks that show up in win tournaments and stuff, we're getting pretty close to that point, I think. Like, what are, outside of those handful of spells we were just talking about, is there anything else important that we're missing? Like the Delve spells, Lotus Field stuff. What else are we missing at this point? Oh, I definitely agree that faster would be better. I mean, I think we should have Full Pioneer on the client now. Like, we know that Bring the Light is a big one. Although that deck has kind of fallen down a little bit in terms of popularity, but that is a deck that is playable enough that we need to have it on there, and it is still not on there. Okay, double Adeline's going to be an issue. Actually, on second thought, maybe it's not going to be an issue. Well, Brutal Cathar. Get rid of Adeline number 2. Okay. We're getting there. We're making strides. Working our way through this pile of Adelines. And, we're not blocking, so get in and hit ya about it. This is my Pioneer Possibility Storm deck I've been playing. We're close to fully in Explore. Ooh, Possibility Storm itself is missing, right? Possibility Storm is sweet. It is just like such a unique card. Combos and Prison Piece, like, it does a lot of different things. That's one I'd like to see added. And that's been pretty good in Pioneer at various times. Like in the early days of Pioneer, there were like legit Possibility Storm decks that were like tournament playable. Yeah, I think Spirits will be coming. We know we're getting the Innistrad Remastered set in the spring. I think that'll provide the rest of the Spirits that we're missing. I am afraid to block here. Yeah, we're just gonna take it. I don't know what they could have that's going to blow us out, but I am a little worried that if we block the 1/1, we end up getting got. Well, here's a hopeful initiate. And a Dauntless Bodyguard. Opponent's got 1 card in hand. Gonna be close. Opponent passes. Brutal Cathar is pretty good. Brutal Cathar. Get rid of Hopeful Initiate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, run out Thalia. Pass the turn. Staying alive. Hopefully staying alive. Opponent. This is for the treasure chest. This is for the winning record. It all comes down to this. Opponent fires up the Mutavault. And definitely a little nervous about Brave the Elements. That's the card that could get us most easily here. Opponent. Although Brave the Elements only hits white creatures. So we're not dead, because Mutavault, it's all types, but it's not all colors. Opponent goes attacking. I don't know if our opponent understands that. We will block. We will drop to 2. And then, a Drowsy Displacer is Devoid, too. Devoid, also kind of relevant. Uajano. Okay, so we just pass and flip. We do the pass and flip. I think we got it. Pass and flip. Brutal Cathars, turning into red creatures. Next turn, we can maybe double spell, flip them back around, get rid of the board. I feel the winning record coming. I feel that sweet 3-1. Is the Hexproof Lord in Innistrad? That is an original Innistrad, but the Hexproof Lord, Drug Skull Captain, that one's not even legal in Pioneer. That one's only in Modern. Bone it. Luminarch Aspirant. Counter on something. Sure. Goes to combat. Opponent passes. Well, 1, 2, 3. Eldrazi Displacer. And Soul Partition. Bounce the body. Oh, no. Oh, that's right. Thalia. Well, Legend Rule ourselves. And now Soul Partition. Bounce a Bodyguard. This will flip the brutes back around. Exile 2 more things. Get in with the Thalia. We do gotta close out the game before our opponent tap deck something, but... wait, is what deck possible to build and explore with the new anthology? Flip them around. Get the Aspirant. Get the Dauntless Bodyguard. Stabilizing at 2-ish life. Exile. Exile. Opponent. Opponent. Bodyguard returns. Sure. And these Brutal Cathars living up to their name. I mean, this one should be over, hopefully. Oh, another Displacer. Well, go to combat. Do a bit of attacking. Hit ya. Can we close it out? Ooh, yes. Seasons Past leads to some really cool decks. The standard deck was really sweet. We've played it in Modern and Pioneer. It's just such a fun grindy card. Ooh, opponent gonna fire up the Mutavault. Okay. And what though? I mean, the problem for our opponent is if they try some aggressive block, we can still just blink. Oh, they're gonna put everything in front of it? Oh. Okay. Well, sure. Blink the token. Kill your stuff. Pass the turn. Flip our Brutal Cathars. An opponent they need some really... An opponent scoops it up, and we got there. Okay. So the Pioneer Taxes deck, we finished with a winning record. It kind of works. Like, the tricks were actually kind of sweet. We did some really cool things with that. It seems like it struggles with decks that can just throw... It seems like it struggles with decks that can just throw a bunch of power on the battlefield. That's where we had the most issues, is people who decks that are just like, okay, I'm just gonna play Bone Crusher into Graveyard Trespasser into Sheoldred, and we're like, okay, like our creatures are a little small, our tricks, while really cute, maybe aren't quite impactful enough. So that's something that we've ran into. On the other hand, in a lot of matchups, the sweet little sneaky synergy is a ended up being enough. So anyway, let's crack our treasure chest. We got one treasure chest to open. Let's crack open our one treasure chest, and then it's a spoiler video time. So what do we get? What do we get? One treasure chest for our 3-2 with Death and Taxes. Come on, something big, something good. Oh, Emperor Molly II. Not a valuable card, but I could see building a commander deck around that card. It's been a minute since we've gotten a full set. I've only had that happen once in my life. On that note, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of the stream. A little bit weird timing, a little earlier than normal. Thursday's stream should be normal, though. So I gotta skedaddle, run over, do a spoiler video for the YouTube. So reminders, replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube. If you want more on Dominaria Remastered, that's gonna be coming up super shortly. As soon as I do the spoiler video, that's next on my list. And one more reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some Magic cards, maybe Brothers War, maybe Dominaria Remastered, you're gonna make cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. And most importantly, thank you to each and every one of you. Y'all are amazing and awesome and spectacular. Thanks for hanging out, watching some spoilers, playing some Magic. I love y'all. Have an amazing night. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you Thursday for some more fun. So until then, everyone, be awesome, and I will talk to you soon.